electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports Chiefs defensive end B.J. Thompson is now awake. He was rushed to the hospital Thursday after a seizure and cardiac arrest at the Chiefs practice facility. Doctors are optimistic about his recovery. UConn coach Dan Hurley is meeting with the Lakers today about an opportunity to become the team's new head coach. The story first reported by our Adrian Wojnarowski.
This is about the chance to go for Dan Hurley to perhaps the most storied, along with the Celtics in Boston, the most storied organization in the league. And the one thing you know about being with the Lakers, you're going to have an opportunity to either coach great players or acquire great players.
Adrian Wojnarowski, in 6 years at UConn, Hurley's team is 141-58 with back-to-back titles. Iowa forward Ava Jones, who was seriously injured by an impaired driver in Louisville 2 years ago, is retiring from women's college basketball. She will stay in school and work toward her degree.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from Game 2 of the Finals with Upon Further Review at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Nick Carparelli in 15 minutes. You might be asking yourself, Scone, who's Nick Carparelli?
Scone, who's Nick Carparelli?
Boy, Muse, you're on your P's and Q's today. And boy, got him on his toes. Glad you asked. He's the head of ESPN Bowl Season. So they've rebranded like it's just Bowl Season. He's the guy in charge of all of it for ESPN. He's here. Some interesting decisions that they announced on Thursday, namely starting bowl season on the day of Army-Navy, playing college football playoff games head up against the NFL. So we'll talk about all that coming up here shortly. But let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, we all wished LSU baseball season was lasting a smidge longer, that they'd be preparing for game one of a super regional right now. Wasn't to be the case. But even still, when the calendar flips to June is when you start to hear a lot of or see a lot of the college football prognostications, predictions, projections, predictive models. All of that starts to drop in June, and that includes preseason magazines. And, of course, the preeminent preseason college football magazine is Phil Steele. He's done that for 30 years, and his name is synonymous with college football. And we are so lucky that every Friday during the football season, Phil Steele is here with us on the show previewing games every week. So, Phil, his magazine today went to print. But if you are a Phil Steele subscriber, you get access to the online version before the physical version goes to print. And I'll sort of give you a bit of a spoiler if you're up for it. One of the things Phil Steele does, remember through his metrics and everything, is he will aside from rating and ranking position groups and teams and coaches and all that sort of stuff, he also ranks schedules. And so this is Phil Steele's sort of predictive measure looking at strength of schedule for each league. Naturally, I wanted to look at the SEC to see how this all played out. And I'm not going to bury the lead for you. LSU, 12th in the SEC. 12 out of 16 is where LSU falls. The 12th easiest schedule. To say it another way, there's only 3 teams in the league that have an easier schedule in 2024, according to Phil Steele, than LSU. Those 3 teams are Tennessee, Texas, and the easiest schedule in the SEC for 2024, according to Phil Steele, the Missouri Tigers. If you're interested in maybe thinking why we're hearing so much about Missouri, how about a team that won 10 games a year ago, has its quarterback returning, an All-American wide receiver, and oh, by the way, the easiest schedule in the SEC for 2024. That sort of plays. So I looked at this 1 to 16. By the way, the toughest schedule, according to Phil Steele, I get more fascinated with this team with seemingly every passing day. The most difficult schedule in the SEC, according to Phil Steele, the Oklahoma Sooners. Remember, a couple of days ago, we talked about FPI, who ranked Oklahoma the 8th best team in the country with the 8th best odds of winning the national championship. Vegas has Oklahoma over under 7.5. Phil Steele says Oklahoma has the toughest schedule in the SEC. Texas, Bama, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri. It's relentless. So I don't know what to make of Oklahoma yet. I am just really, really, really intrigued. So when I looked at this list, 1 to 16, as Phil Steele ranked the SEC schedules from most difficult to easiest, I said, what are my biggest takeaways? So I want to run through these. Do we have a little college football music that we can get here, Muse? Or just any little music? There we go. That'll play. You know I am a big fan of the Big Ten on CBS theme Muse. I am a big fan of that theme song.
I've heard that you are, yes,
yeah.
Yes.
The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl theme.
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl theme.
Big fan of it.
Army-Navy, the Army-Navy theme.
The Army-Navy theme.
Yeah.
The CBS Sports Television Tuesday night Mac-tacular, or whatever might be on CBS Sports Television.
Action, yeah.
Well, that's on ESPN. Maction is on ESPN. Whatever else might be on CBS Sports on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night at 7:30. That's what this is the soundtrack to, Muse. The soundtrack of college football. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl theme. Okay, I've got 7 takeaways from Phil Steele's SEC football schedule ranking. Let's hit it.
7, a winner.
What do we make of Oklahoma? I just talked about it a bit ago. FPI has Oklahoma the number 8 team in the country. Vegas has their over under 7.5. They lost their offensive coordinator, Jeff Lebby. Their quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, is now in Oregon. They have the toughest schedule in college football, or in the SEC, according to Phil Steele. I am just floored where everything is telling you to yin and FBI tells you to yang. But here's Phil Steele, another mark seemingly against Oklahoma.
6.
The SEC kicked their runs. When I run through the easiest to the most difficult, here's the toughest schedules. Oklahoma, who obviously coming in the league. Second toughest, Mississippi State with a new coach, Jeff Lebby. Number 3, South Carolina and Shane Beamer, who are coming off a really disappointing season. The 4th most difficult schedule, Vanderbilt, self-explanatory. 5th most difficult schedule, Florida, good luck Billy Napier. 6th most difficult schedule, Arkansas, yeah, Sam Pittman ain't going to be back. Then 7 is Hugh Freeze. Then you go Bama, Georgia, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Ole Miss, LSU, Tennessee, Texas, Missouri. The point being, the SEC did their runs no favors whatsoever, and I also think this is a product of getting rid of divisions because every team in the East doesn't have the layup against Vanderbilt anymore or against each other. Now that you have this homogenous blob of 16 teams, it's going to be more challenging for some of the teams near the bottom.
Make it 5.
Texas, they can go ahead and book their college football playoff reservations already. They have the second easiest schedule in the Southeastern Conference. They've got the best quarterback, a ton of talent. They were in the playoff a year ago. They'll be back.
4.
Is Tennessee a threat? Is Tennessee a real threat? I mean, 2 years ago, they were awesome with Hendon Hooker. But for that injury, I thought Hendon Hooker should have won the Heisman, and they probably would have been a playoff team. Certainly would have been in a 12-teamer. But last year was such a disappointment, and I know they got Nico Iamale. Y'all not gonna work here anymore. I'll tell you that much. That guy at quarterback, and they're excited about him. And got Lance Hurd in the portal and did some nice things in the portal. Tennessee plus 3,500 to win the national championship. They share the same odds at plus 3,500 with Missouri, who we said has the easiest schedule in the league, the 12th best odds to win the national championship. I don't know. Is Tennessee for real? This schedule might actually lean toward that if they get solid quarterback play. LSU. Of course, that's where we'd all lead here. But LSU, we keep talking about, everyone assumes Georgia, Texas, lock them in. They're going to be playoff teams. Who's going to be the third SEC team? Because the SEC is going to get a third team. And we always talk, well, is it Ole Miss or Bama or LSU or Tennessee or Missouri? It's that clump of teams, right? Well, LSU has an easier strength of schedule than both Ole Miss and Alabama. And they get both of those games at home. So LSU actually with the 7th best odds to win the national championship. And again, an easier schedule than both Ole Miss and Alabama.
Number 2.
I'm not sold on Missouri, but the schedule could get them there. If you have the easiest schedule in the SEC, where your toughest game is going to be Alabama, and the rest of it looks like Oklahoma, A&M, Auburn, South Carolina, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Yeah, Missouri has the easiest schedule in the SEC, and even though I'm not a believer, the schedule could get them to 10 wins this year, and 10 wins in the SEC is going to get you in the playoff.
One.
Bama. The contrast of that is Alabama, who of that clump of contenders we talked about, right? LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Missouri, Bama. Of that group, Bama has the most difficult schedule. Bama gets Georgia. They're at LSU. They get Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee. Of course, got to play Auburn. Bama, right smack dab in the middle of the league with the 8th most difficult schedule, but the most difficult of those contenders after Georgia and Texas that we talked about. Might be a tough climb in year one there for Kalen DeBoer replacing Nick Saban. Okay, those are my takeaways from Phil Steele's SEC schedule release. All right, y'all. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Love telling you about our friends over at Mockler, and our friends at Mockler are hiring. Go to mocklerbeverage.com, mocklerbeverage.com. If you want to get more information or to apply online, full-time positions and part-time positions, entry-level positions. So if you have no experience, no worries whatsoever. They have benefits, vision, medical, dental. They have 401k, retirement. They have CDL training and advancement opportunities. By the way, if you just want a cool place to work, how about being a Bud man? How about working at the beer distributor? That's pretty stinking cool. And Mockler's awesome. Baton Rouge, Houma, Lake Charles, and all three are hiring, especially Lake Charles, because just a couple of months ago they acquired Southwest Bev, so they're growing that market. So if you're listening to us in Southwest Louisiana, you're looking for a little change of pace, mocklerbeverage.com. Go apply online. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, the official beer of the UFC, the official beer of AFR. Okay, the head of bowl season, Nick Carparelli. Hey, Carparelli. He joins us next. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorney. Saw Gordon last night, was the title sponsor of the Rougarou game. Of course, the Baton Rouge the Texas Collegiate League, the Wooden Bat League here in Baton Rouge. Gordon has done an awesome job, man, being so involved with so many things in our community. I know we focus a lot here on the members of the G team and the NIL deals that Gordon has done. But remember throughout the year, all the things Gordon does, from supporting women's sports and supporting breast cancer awareness during October, the graduate program where he gives away laptops during graduation season. So many ways that Gordon supports our community. And on top of that, of course, for 30 years, Gordon has helped injured people in our community. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You need representation. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Call Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We are 6 months away from the 44 bowls that make up bowl season, but I'm sure Nick Carparelli is already counting down the days. The executive director of bowl season joins us here as they announce the full slate of college football bowl games on Thursday. Nick, we appreciate it. How are you?
I'm great, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Does a day like today or yesterday, how does it compare to what would be a normal day in the process of putting together a bowl schedule?
Honestly, today or yesterday is kind of like Christmas for me, and I suspect for a lot of college football fans. You know, it obviously takes a lot of days and months to put the schedule together, but when it finally takes its final form, and even myself, as intimately as involved as I am in it, I was studying the schedule last night, saying, which ones am I going to go to? You know, which ones can I physically get to from one day to the next? You know, as the executive director, I like to get to as many as I can. It's obviously logistically impossible to get to all of them. So from year to year, I try to hit some different ones that I haven't been to in a while. And it just seems like no option is a bad option when you're trying to get to these games.
Nick, how do you sort of organize what criteria matters most when you're putting a schedule together? Maybe a better way to say it is what does matter most when you're putting together a schedule?
Yeah, well, I'll be truthful with you. You know, ESPN televises the vast majority of these games. So they have the most say. They're obviously trying to find television windows that they can slot the games into. They have other obligations with the NFL, obviously, college basketball, the NBA, et cetera, that time of year. So, it starts with that. You obviously have certain traditions. There are games that have been played post-Christmas forever, and that's where they're going to stay. A lot of the newer games are pre-Christmas, and one of the oddities or one of the new things in the schedule this year that we've never seen before is bowl season starting a week earlier. We're going to see 2 games on Army-Navy weekend, and that was necessitated by the new college football playoff and the fact that they're playing the first-round games on the Saturday that has traditionally been reserved for the opening weekend of bowl season. So, we're starting a week earlier, which just means we're going to have more days for fans to enjoy bowl games in the month of December and early January.
Nick Carparelli is with us, the executive director of bowl season. So what was the reaction to Army-Navy sort of sharing the spotlight? What's been the reaction mostly?
Yeah, well, we were very careful with that. That's one of the great traditions in American sport, that Army-Navy game. I love the game. The last thing myself or any of us involved with bowl season wanted to do was to minimize that game in any way or take anything away from it. So we're very careful to schedule our 2 games on that day before that game so that it would end before kickoff and the other game starting after the conclusion. So we really don't think we interfered with it at all. In fact, in some ways, we hope we're adding to the overall experience of that day for college football fans by giving a full day of college football programming, obviously highlighted by the Army-Navy game.
I'll never complain about having more college football to watch, ever. The day I do that is the day I die.
I'm with you on that.
Nick, the other really interesting thing was when we looked at the playoff schedule, right, you will have games going head-to-head against the NFL, which, man, that is, God, they're the 8,000-pound gorilla, right? I mean, so that's obviously not ideal. How and why was that decision made?
Well, it was a complicated decision. Wasn't an easy decision. Again, a lot of people involved. Obviously, college football needs to take care of college football and schedule games on the best possible dates that work for us. Obviously, the calendar was a factor, spacing it out, starting the games as early as possible, but after exams, those first-round games, giving enough time in between the playing games, the quarters, semis, and finals for teams to prepare. So those were all factors. We know that the NFL was not super happy that we scheduled the first round of the playoffs on that Saturday. I'm not sure how to react to that. I do know there was a day where during the regular season, college football was on Saturday and the NFL was on Sunday, and I think they made the first move to move some games to Saturday. College football decided, hey, let's play a couple games on Thursday and make that a little bit of a night. And then the NFL decided to move some games to Thursday. So, with all due respect to the NFL, I'm not so sure they were caring about college football when they made those decisions. So I guess turnabout's fair play for college football to take care of ourselves a little bit.
Bingo. I mean, NFL's playing on Saturday. Like, that's a college football day. So I understand how it's going to go, but people have a decision to make. Whenever you all are in the room making these decisions, what maybe was everyone I think is going to focus obviously on the playoff and then Army-Navy, but were there other games or situations that arose that became somewhat complex for one reason or another that maybe isn't obvious to the average fan?
You talking about outside the playoffs?
Yeah, anything. Yeah. Sure.
Well, in general, we continue to battle the perception on the part of a minority group that think, maybe there's too many bowl games. Maybe bowl games have outlived their livelihood now that the playoffs here. But nothing could be further from the truth. And this isn't my opinion. I just got off of kind of a tour of conference meetings. For those of you that know the intricacies of college football, May is the month where every major conference has their big meeting, where it's the commissioner with the athletic directors, the head football coaches, basketball coaches, the presidents even. And I got to 6 out of the 9. I physically couldn't get to all 9. And they afforded me the opportunity to present to coaches. And I remember sitting in the room with the 18 Big Ten coaches just 2 weeks ago, which a little bit intimidating, to be honest with you. But, they love hearing updates about bowl games. I ask them very pointed questions. And the reality is the people that matter that the schools themselves, the head coaches and the student athletes, they love bowl games. Even a conference like the Big Ten, there's only so many, Penn States, Ohio States, and Michigans in the world, right? There's a lot of Rutgers in Illinois and Minnesota and Northwesterns, et cetera, in every conference, even the Big Two, that need a meaningful postseason experience for their student athletes. And quite frankly, those programs probably aren't going to challenge for the playoff very often. So we like to say that bowl season and the CFP together form college football's postseason. They complement one another. And I think together they make the college football's postseason one of the most unique in all of sports.
Nick, does bowl season, the organization, work at the liberty or the luxury of the conferences? Is that who ultimately has all the say to put the organization together?
That's a good question. So we, the bowl season, we're an association. Okay, so all 44 bowl games are members of bowl season. They are dues-paying members. They are active participants. We have an annual meeting every year where they all come together, and we have professional development workshops. And they don't really compete with one another, these bowls. They do what they do in their own community. So there's great camaraderie in the system. And then, our goal, we bill ourselves as a celebration of college football, which is what we are. We have conference office representatives come to our meeting to network with the bowl games, to learn about what we do. So, our job as an organization is to promote the game of college football in general, but to be a service organization to the 44 bowl games.
Who is the most intimidating Big Ten coach in the room?
Well, now that Coach Harbaugh's gone, last year that might have been the case. Even so, he came up to me after 2 years ago, and we had a great conversation. I don't know. I don't know if there's any. On a personal level, I worked I was a deputy commissioner of the Big East Conference back when Big East football was going, and when I started there in 2002, my first conference meeting was a month after I started, and in the room was Coach Beamer, who had 3 years prior been to the national championship game with Michael Vick. Larry Coker had just won the national championship with Miami. There was Paul Pasqualoni and Rich Rodriguez and Greg Schiano. I was much younger then, and I'll be honest with you, I was a lot more nervous then than I was in front of this group. They generally like what I have to say, and they're very interactive, very smart group of people. So as long as you're prepared going into the room, you can't go wrong.
Big East had themselves a moment back in the early aughts. That 06 season was pretty special as well. I think 3 different teams that year all got up to number 2 in the country. Rutgers, South Florida, Louisville, maybe, if I remember correctly.
You do. That's a very good memory. Yeah. I scheduled those games. It was a little controversial before the season that we chose to put our best games on a Thursday night, but it really paid off for us because I think it was number 3 versus number 5. And then Louisville won the game, and then it was Louisville-Rutgers, who was 8. Yeah. That was a pretty good 2-week run for us right there. And really, we overachieved for a few years, which I think is a nice feather in our cap.
Were those the Chris Fowler Pandemonium and Piscataway games?
Yes.
Yeah, how about that? Good times,
I'll give you bonus points for the Rutgers kicker that pointed at the Sky Camp.
Nah, no shot.
Jeremy Ito.
Fair enough. Jeremy Ito would have never gotten it. I'd had a better chance of getting Lance Ito than Jeremy Ito. Nick Carparelli, Executive Director of Bowl Season. This was fun, man. Looking forward to bowl season, but the college football season as a whole, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. So Mold Zero, Pure Restoration, Parish Restoration, all the same thing. I don't mean to confuse you. But my buddy Jim Woodworth, of course, at Mold Zero, they rebranded, and Ryan Theriot, Richard Tilley, as they have continued building their company, they heard me talking about Pure Restoration and went and partnered. They merged with Jim Woodworth and Pure. So anyway, all you need to know is it's all under the Parish umbrella now, Parish Restoration. So if you go to parishbuilt.com, hit the Restoration tab, you'll see all the same info, right? The same patented non-toxic dry fog, kill mold, remove odor, any smells from, if you have mold or think you might, water intrusion, you might have mold in your wall you don't even know about. Maybe it's odor from pets or smoke or from a fire or whatever it may be. Sweat, if you're a gym type facility, workout facility, and you have that sweat odor, you want to get rid of it, boom, patented non-toxic dry fog. They'll come fog it. I mean, as soon as the fog dissipates, you're back in free and clear in a fresh, clean smelling building. It's Parish Restoration, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Just hit the restoration tab when you go to parishbuilt.com and ask for Jim Woodworth and the gang over at Parish Restoration. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. Theriot, 30 minutes from right now, speaking of which. We'll not got a break. Come back. Oh, I have an update on Simeon Barrow. You remember Simeon Barrow, who committed to Miami and then said he was going to the portal or leave Miami? We got an update on that. We'll get to it. We'll have Tigers in the Pros, Theriot in 30 minutes. A lot to do, and glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. As a matter of fact, we're going to be downtown Baton Rouge tomorrow night, and probably going to pop on into the Renaissance or into the Watermark. We have an event to go to in downtown, so I was telling Erica afterwards, we should pop into the Watermark and just enjoy the bar area, the lobby that I tell you about all the time. I mean, the Renaissance on Bluebonnet is amazing. The Watermark downtown, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property, the old Louisiana National Bank building. So it was Baton Rouge's original high-rise, 100 years ago. And they've preserved so much of the history of that building while adding modern amenities. It's just an elegant place to sit down and have a great cocktail, a glass of wine, people watch a little bit. Of course, you can always eat at the Gregory right there in the lobby of the Watermark Hotel as well. And sometimes people say, Matt, but I don't want to go downtown. It's hard to park, etc. Well, when you're eating at the Gregory, remember, it's complimentary valet parking. So you pull up, they'll valet your car, no worries at all right there at the door of the Watermark Hotel.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Our Rad Dad contest is back, presented by Roaming Shot Outdoors and Shooting Range. Upload a picture of your dad doing dad things to 1045ESPN.com for a chance to win him a Blackstone grill with all the accessories, one long-range shooting school class shooting class for 2 from Roaming Shot Roaming Shot Outdoors and Shooting Range.
You're nailing this, Muse. Keep going.
I'm crushing it. Steaks from Christian Specialty Foods, a Hawk Soap gift basket, and a full throttle package from Finish Line Haircuts. We'll be choosing a winner June 14th. Happy Father's Day from Roaming Shot Outdoors and Shooting Range and 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, you remember Simeon Barrow, right? The guy who was a defensive lineman at Michigan State who, in October, went in the portal and then decided to stay and then went in the portal again and then went back and then went in the portal a third time and then ultimately transferred to Miami. And then last week there was a report from Matt Zenitz that Simeon Barrow was thinking about leaving Miami, but the portal window had already closed, so maybe he was just going to transfer and walk on somewhere, and he mentioned Missouri was a spot. Well, all that, Matt Zenitz now has another update. Actually, Simeon Barrow went on social media and announced that he is staying at Miami. So Simeon Barrow, after much ado about nothing, is in fact going to stay at Miami for now, and presumably be a member of the Hurricanes football team here in 2024. Whatever. Just make up your mind, guy. I'm over him. All right, it's after further review. I have nothing else to say. Is anybody? You have anything to add on Simeon Barrow? Anybody? I have nothing else to add on Simeon Barrow.
Nothing.
And that's a guy that has been a good player. He's honorable mention All Big Ten during his time at Michigan State, but it's not like we're talking about Walter Nolan, a guy that's an All-American, an Outland candidate. I mean, yes, it would have been nice if LSU gotten Simeon Barrow. He would have been a more accomplished, more experienced player than anything LSU has on the roster presently. But all of this feels like a gigantic headache, and I'm quite honestly just very tired of talking about him. So wish him well, onward to whatever might be next. It's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. I'm going to get to another very important recruiting update here in just about 30 seconds about a 5-star receiver, not DeCorian Moore, that LSU is targeting. There was an important update on that. I'll get to that in a second. Of course, it's vacation season. If you're hitting the road, go to Shaw Bills. You need an oil change? Go to Shaw Bills. Tires rotated? Go to Shaw Bills. Check engine light? Go to Shaw Bills. Brakes squeaking? Go to Shaw Bills. If you need something done to your vehicle, and especially if you need to buy tires, buy them where they're the cheapest and where they're going to treat you like family. Always say go to the website, hit the promotions tab at the top. You'll see all of the specials that they have, the manufacturer's offer, how they marry them with their in-house offer to get you the best price possible, and they guarantee it. Yes, you want to buy the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. That's Shaw Bills. But you keep coming back year after year after year after year because they treat you like family. It's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. Shea Dixon was here on Tuesday, and he gave us an update on 5-star wide receiver Jamie French. Here's what Shea said.
French is the number 4 receiver in the country. These are the who's who of guys that are out there, and they're looking at LSU very seriously. Look, French's mom grew up in the Feliciana. He lives in Jacksonville, but his mom went to Southern, grew up in the Feliciana, so they have family in the area. And LSU is certainly in the kind of mix there as one of the top teams.
So LSU, Texas, Ohio State, all in the mix. And Jamie French, the update, by the way, he's out of Florida, out of Mandarin, Florida, Jacksonville. The high school is Mandarin, 6'1", 184. He's the number 19 overall player in the country in the composite, the 4th best wide receiver. Actually, ESPN ranks him as the 16th overall player in the country. So I guess depending on what organization that you subscribe to. But the composite, a top 20 overall player, any position in America, Jamie French. And he's announced that his decision date will be August the 30th. So we'll know before LSU tees it up and kicks it off against USC, if in fact LSU is the pick. And for Jamie French, he's got, a really impressive list of schools that he's targeted. He's listed as finalists. He's got LSU, Miami, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas among them. According to the prediction machine, Texas is the team that's the favorite right now, followed by Ohio State and then LSU if you're just looking at the prediction machine for Jamie French. But again, a guy with ties from his family, as you heard Shea say, to the state of Louisiana. Chad Simmons, the national scouting director for On3, had this to say about French as he nears his decision.
Every visit he went on this spring, mostly back in April and some in March as well, but really opened his eyes. He had a chance to come back, reflect, look in the mirror, talk to his family, and figure out which one fits the best and how do they feel after all of these visits. And it's not just about Jamie, but it's about his family. He takes that into account. Who recruits his family well, who they feel good about.
Well, it's about his family. Family has ties to Louisiana, and the Feliciana is just north of Baton Rouge. So it's worth mentioning that could be a big one. And the reason I'm going to keep harping on this, DeCorian Moore, Jamie French, a big part of it is because, man, LSU has got to make receiver a focus in the 2025 class. And right now, you've only got one committed. You've got Teron Francis committed. Now, Teron Francis is one of the top players in the state of Louisiana. He is the best receiver in the state of Louisiana for 2025 out of New Orleans. But when you look at how LSU's roster is shaping up for 2025 at receiver, remember, Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, gone. C.J. Daniels, Xavion Thomas, the transfers this year, they're likely going to be gone. I say Anderson. Anderson could return for a fourth year, but we'll see. But those five likely gone. Remember, Kai Preon has transferred out. Jalen Brown previously transferred out after this year. So members of the 2023 signing class, you've already lost two of those receivers. You return Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker, but that's it from that class. So just when you look ahead to 2025, the 2025 season, guys on the roster right now, Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker, and then the incoming freshmen, Watkins, Billiot, Turner. That's it. So you're going to have to hit the portal, but, man, you really need to make the 20. And honestly, that's really something that this staff can sell to receivers for the class of 2025. Come here, done a great job developing receiver talent. I mean, even before Odell and Jarvis, we can go back to Clayton and Reed and all the guys. I mean, Terrence Tolliver, Ruben Randall, long list of NFL players, but Odell and Jarvis and Jamar and Justin Jefferson and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas both going in round one. Yes, like there's a ton to sell about the program, their ability to develop receivers, get them to the next level, and you have immediate playing time. Like the problem for a guy like Shelton Sampson, a five-star in last year's class, he came into a spot where there was a log jam at that position, where you had Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors and Kyron Lacey and Chris Hilton and Aaron Anderson. And then you had this super talented class of young guys with Sampson and Parker and Jalen Brown, and there just weren't enough reps. Well, now Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas are off to the league. You know, Kyron Lacey's back. You brought in some transfers, so it makes it tough this year. But looking ahead to next year, it's going to be pretty wide open for jobs to be had and reps to be won for the 2025 season, which is a strong selling point for any top-tier incoming freshman recruit at that position. So, again, DeCorian Moore is on campus literally right now. I mean, it's 3:42 in the afternoon on Friday, June the 7th, and DeCorian Moore is on LSU's campus going through his official visit right now. And Jamie French, another five-star receiver who has a hat on the table for LSU, is going to announce that his decision date will be August the 30th. So we'll know before LSU and USC kick off if French will pick the Tigers. Okay, it's After Further Review. Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We're glad to have you. Theriot will be here in about 18 minutes to kick off hour number 3. Because on Fridays we have Theriot, we sort of flip things a little. So when we come back, Muse will have Tigers and the pros. The game 1 of the NBA Finals in the books. Boston did work on the Dallas Mavericks. A little bit of a recap there. And more reaction from Saints OTAs on Thursday. A ton to do, and glad you're with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all. We are cruising through the summer months. Means the temperatures are rising. It's 94 degrees in Baton Rouge right now. 94 degrees. If you have an issue with your Home Central AC, call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001. Remember, heading into the weekend, I tell you this all the time. If you have an issue with your AC, nights, holidays, weekends, they will always answer the phone. They will always come out. Nights, holidays, weekends, and not charge you extra to come out. Nights, holidays, weekends. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, because when it's 94 degrees in Baton Rouge and your AC is not working, you got to get it fixed. So look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side and call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com. And I say it all the time, you really need to join their maintenance club program. Just the seasonal maintenance pays for itself. It's River City's 1 Hour Air.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Hey, Muse, when Mincy was here yesterday, did any of us pick Florida State against UConn?
I don't think so. It was a
Control
lot
your
of
excitement,
juice.
Muse. Control your excitement. Take it down a notch.
There's a lot of juice, so I don't think anyone picked Florida State.
Did anybody pick Florida State to maybe somebody picked Florida State to win the regional? Maybe Kendall said that yesterday, that he thought UConn may have had a shot. Anyway, Florida State won game 1, 24-4.
Yeah.
Kaboom. UConn.
They hit like 5 homers or something like that. It was absurd.
UConn had 11 hits.
Yeah?
4 runs and 11 hits. And oh, by the way, Evansville, not scared. One of my picks was Tennessee on the run line. Tennessee got up early, 1-0. Evansville took a 2-1 lead. Tennessee comes back with a 3-spot in the third and then another in the fourth. Tennessee was up 5-2. Evansville responds with a 3-spot top 5. So now we are tied right now. 5-5 in the Knoxville Super Regional. Actually, Tennessee is batting right now. And I think
I think they did. I think they took the lead.
Well, he doubled off the wall. I think it's Christian Moore who doubled off the others, an injured outfielder for Evansville. Yeah, so it was an RBI double off the wall. So Tennessee up 6-5 right now, a bottom 5 against Evansville. So we'll play that out and see how it goes. But that's the only other game in action. 2 games tonight. West Virginia against North Carolina at 5 Central, and then Kansas State at Virginia at 6 o'clock Central on ESPN2. That's your wraparound for Super Regional play. It does feel like I was just looking at the text line, like literally the one that came in during that break just now. The most recent text on the text line was from Brad Newman, who said, "My goodness, it feels so wrong. Friday night, beginning of June, and no LSU baseball." It does, man. It's an oddity. Someone was asking me on Morning Scone earlier this week, or maybe it was the recap show I was doing after LSU was eliminated on Monday, about if it's unrealistic to think the baseline expectation for LSU should be to be hosting a regional. And no, I don't think that's unrealistic. I think that's exactly what the baseline expectation should be. With all the resources and everything that's pumped into this program, you should be one of the top 16 teams in the country. You should be hosting a regional every year. And if you ask Jay Johnson, I'm sure he'd tell you the same darn thing. So, yeah, and I would never sit here and say lower your standard. I don't care how good college baseball gets, how good the SEC gets, how competitive it gets. You are the standard in college baseball. There's no other way around it. You've won 7 national titles. You've won championships with 3 different coaches. You were the national champion a year ago. Yes, you should. Not only should you be playing this weekend, but you should be hosting regional ball and playing into the super regional round every year. Yes, you should. Because if you're hosting a 4-team regional at the box, you should always win it. That's a baseline expectation for this program. So they fell short. It was a fun run at the end of the year. Total credit to these guys for getting it together, for never giving up, for digging themselves out of that hole and putting themselves in a spot where they were 3 outs away from advancing. And quite honestly, if they had advanced, they'd be playing a home super regional against West Virginia, and they'd be a massive favorite. So, yeah, it is disappointing to watch Tennessee against Evansville and to watch 5 SEC teams playing in super regional ball, and LSU's not one of them. I need a sip of water. How about a sip of Evermore? EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. You can buy Evermore online, or you can get it at great local retailers. One of the things I really encourage you to do, if you've never done this, if you want to learn more, again, Evermore doesn't make medical claims or anything like that, but one of the things that you see is that a result of the sodium bicarbonate, that Evermore can help people with acid reflux. So, again, there's no medical claims here, but go read some of the reviews and the testimonials on Google and on Facebook, and you will hear people tell their firsthand story of how drinking this, a natural, healthier product, natural artesian water, how it's helped them with things like acid reflux, how it's, if you have heartburn and indigestion, how it can help with that. It's a healthier product. No additives, nothing taken away. It's Evermore, EVAMOR, and it's a Louisiana product. I mean, the natural well, the artesian well is in Covington, right there near I-12. When you exit I-12 and you go toward the Evermore plant, you can't miss it. It's Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com, available at great local retailers. All right, Muse, let's do some Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Todd Peterson was back on the mound last night. 2 more innings for our guy, Todd Peterson.
Todd Peterson.
1 hit, 1 earned, but Todd Peterson didn't walk anybody, and he did strike out 2 batters in the ball game. Todd Peterson.
Todd Peterson.
The 1 hit and the 1 run that he gave up came on a solo shot. His team also got destroyed. But anyway.
Yeah.
Todd
Peterson.
Todd Peterson.
Alex Lang was back on the mound last night in AAA for the Toledo Mud Hens. 1 shutout inning of relief. Earned himself the win in relief. 1-0 now on the season for Lang.
That a boy.
You need to get him back up
Get
there.
him, Langer.
You need to get him back
We
up
do.
there. Jake Fraley was 1 for 3 last night with a single and a run scored. Also drew a walk. How about Angel Reese? Back-to-back double-doubles now in the WNBA. Chicago Sky got the dub. 16 points, 11 boards for Angel in 35 minutes. She also stole the ball 5 times. So just a really, really efficient night there on the defensive end as well for Angel Reese. Some golf to get you updated on. Sam Burns, 75 today, 3 over par. Has him at 2 over for the tournament.
I'd be pumped with a 75.
I mean, me too. I'd tell everybody, to be honest with you. He is inside the cut line by 2 shots, so he should stick around and play the weekend. But Scotty Scheffler's leading the tournament. So
really?
Really,
Drink.
all others need not apply. Yeah, that's pretty much done there. Madeline Sackstrom, she's playing in a tournament over in her native country, Sweden. Yes, how about that? 1 under par, tied for 10th so far going through. Like to see it. That's Tigers in the Pros.
I'd like to try some Swedish fare someday.
I don't know what that is. Swedish, what do you mean?
Food.
Oh.
The local fare, F-A-R-E.
Oh, gotcha.
Some Swedish fare.
Okay.
I would like to go to Sweden and try the Swedish fare someday.
Yeah.
It never looks appealing when you see Swedish food on television or whatever. It never looks good. But I would be interested to go to Sweden and try it. I feel like I'd have to wear a scarf and be on a boat or something like that.
I was about to say it's probably going to be chilly. Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah.
It's probably what would happen. Sweden? I like saying that too. Sweden.
It's not a bad accent, actually.
Thank you.
Not a bad Swedish accent.
I do have some good voice control.
Yeah.
I talk a lot.
Yeah.
It's a powerful tool there, Muse.
But accents can get tough, man.
Yes. All right. It's after further review. We're glad you're aboard with us here on this Friday edition. Theriot is going to be here next. By the way, William Schmidt will be here in hour 3. Calichi. Had to get one since Muse didn't throw it in the Tigers and the Pros. William Schmidt is arguably the top prep pitcher in the country, led Catholic to a national championship this year. He is an LSU signee, but he'll have a draft decision to make, so William Schmidt will be here in hour 3. Glad you're here now. It's AFR.
AFR.
Right about Parrish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. This morning, every Friday, we have our full team meeting over at the Parrish office there on Perkins Road. And one of the things we focused a lot on today was fortified home program. Listen, the state of Louisiana, the Louisiana Department of Insurance, has expanded the fortified roofing program. They've added $15 million to the coffers there for Louisiana homeowners to be able to fortify their roof. Listen, if you have a fortified roof, you could still have wind damage, but the point is to prevent water intrusion, because that's when things get really messy and really expensive. When your roof blows off and then you get water in the house. You're cutting sheetrock, there's damage to the contents. So insurance companies, depending on who your insurer is, will offer up to a 52% discount on your insurance premiums with a fortified roof. And the state of Louisiana offers you a $10,000 grant for a fortified roof. Learn more. Let us help. parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. One day after suffering a seizure and cardiac arrest at the team facility, Chiefs second-year defensive end B.J. Thompson is awake now. Thompson played in only one game during his rookie season with the Super Bowl champs. The Stanley Cup Final faces off tomorrow night in Sunrise, Florida. The Panthers host the Edmonton Oilers. It's the second straight final for the Panthers, but ESPN's Emily Kaplan says the expectations are on Connor McDavid and the Oilers.
Before the season, he and Leon Draisaitl, his running mate, basically were like, yeah, this is going to be cup or bust for us. But that's what happens when you're the generational best player in the world. You're on a team that won the draft lottery 3 times in a very short span, and you haven't won yet, and everyone's looking at you guys to get it done.
Emily Kaplan on Unsportsmanlike. Game 1 tomorrow night, 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. The postponed fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul will be held on November 15th in Arlington, Texas. Undisputed super lightweight champ Katie Taylor meets Amanda Serrano in the co-main event.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from Game 2 of the Finals with Upon Further Review at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I have a good idea. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot rounds third. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Packers win. Packers win. Go.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt. Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, bruh. Hey, I just did that whole thing on the 104.5 ESPN Instagram story. So if everybody wants to go see it, You could see that real time as it happened. All right. How are things?
Good, man. Things are great.
I love to hear that things are great. I love to hear that things are great.
Yep.
Got William Schmidt next hour.
Schmitty.
Calici.
Schmitty.
Love that.
Yep.
Love that so much.
Schmitty coming on. Yep. Happy for Schmitty. This is going to be good. This will be good. It's been kind of new for him.
What do you mean?
We're going to get him going. The media thing. Yeah. I mean,
you would think
high school guys don't do a whole lot.
I get it, but when you're that big of a prospect, you'd figure, he probably has.
He's probably done a few, but nothing to them. I mean, nothing to this.
Yeah.
To this level. This is a big deal.
Level? Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Big deal.
Schmitty.
So can we ask him about the draft?
No, I don't.
I can't ask him about the draft.
No, I don't think we should ask him about the. I
got it. Listen, I do understand those guys are being advised by their agent, their representation. I will be respectful of that, but I am excited to talk to him. I mean, it's pretty.
I'm going to ask him how much money it'll take. I'm not going to say draft. I'm just going to say, hey, how much money will it take?
You can ask him that, but that's the question that they don't want to answer because they don't want to show their cards.
But he's not going to know.
Or play their cards.
But I'm not going to say, like, how much money is it going to take for you to come to LSU or go in there? I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say how much money is it going to take. Now, if he takes it with the draft, if he's talking about the draft or not, that's on him. That's not on me.
Well, all right.
Okay,
Is William Schmidt, for those who don't know who we're talking about, so William Schmidt is a senior at Catholic High. They just won the state championship. They finished Max Preps, the #1 team in America. They won the national championship, like the best high school baseball team in the country, which is insane to say that out loud. But Schmidt has just vaulted up everybody's draft boards in the last year as he's developed into a guy that is a legit, #1 type arm, and he's an LSU signee. It's, I think, highly unlikely that he ends up at LSU. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you anything I know or anything like that. But you've known him a long time, so you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe, right? I think there's always a chance, and with the kid from Baton Rouge, that's grown up in the shadows of Tiger Stadium and gone to games and been an LSU fan his whole life. That definitely helps. His heroes wore the purple and gold.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids, just like he was. And so it means a little bit more to those players. Same thing like with the kid from New Orleans, Michael Ryan. We've heard some chatter on him recently, and he's shot up draft boards, and they've floated some pretty big numbers out there to him as well. But, look, you can go back as far as Daniel Cabrera, which was, 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
When he signed?
When he was coming out of high school. And I can remember having that conversation with him. He said, Ryan, on my grandmother's dying bed, on her deathbed, she wanted to see me in an LSU uniform. Like, it just meant a whole lot to their family for him to put on that purple and gold. So, I mean, look, man, it's he turned down $2.5 million to come to LSU.
Yeah.
Which is a big number.
Gavin Dugas turned down $2 million to come to LSU.
Gavin Guidry?
I'm sorry, not Dugas. I'm sorry, Gavin Guidry. Forgive me.
Yeah.
That was Gavin Guidry turned down $2 million. So it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. It's just rare.
Yeah.
When it happens. So we'll see in the Connor Griffins and other ones. LSU, look, every year you're going to lose some big time prospects to the draft. It's just like when you're LSU, you've got to go sign those kids, right? Because what if they do show up? What if Daniel Cabrera does show up? What if Gavin Guidry does show up? What if Cam Johnson does show up? That's why you go sign them, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the draft process plays out. They do end up on campus. So we'll see what happens with William Schmidt, but he'll be here a little more than an hour from right now. So how's your day? How's your week going?
It's good.
Oh, it's good, yeah?
Yeah, day's good. Week's been good.
Glad to hear that.
Summer's here.
It is.
It seemed like overnight, man. I walked outside and it was really... It was hot. I mean, the days actually changed. It went from being kind of pleasant to like super, super hot. So summer's here. School's out. We're into postseason baseball. Summer vacations are taking place. You're starting to see, you're feeling that buzz, the smell of sunscreen in the air and beach and bathing suits, So it's here. And for the Theriot family, every summer, we have a ritual, a tradition. It happens on Houston's birthday. It's happened since he was 8 years old. we asked Houston when he was 8, right when I retired, hey, what do you want for your birthday, buddy? He said, I want to go to Blue Bayou Water Park. Said, well, damn it. Let's load up in the van and go to Blue Bayou.
You don't have a van. You've never had a van.
I like vans.
You may like vans.
When I was
never
a kid,
had a van.
Mary had a van.
Did she? What kind of van?
A
you
real
minivan?
no,
or
no,
did you
no,
like
no,
the big
no.
Mark III?
No, it was big league. Mini blinds in the back.
Oh, yeah.
TV.
We had that. The big Mark III.
Oh, yeah.
The big, like, rectangular looking
Yes.
things, like with the short front. Big captain's chairs. The running lights on the side.
Mary had a van.
Oh, yeah.
Mary had a little van.
Mary had a little van.
Mary had a little. It was a big van though.
We called my mom had a red van. We called it the Cherry Bomb. That's what we called it.
That's good.
Yeah, the big red van.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you knew when the Cherry Bomb was coming down the street. Couldn't miss it.
I love vans. Vans are cool, man.
The one with the handle where it had the button on the handle where you had to push you hold the handle like over the top and you had to push the button to pull it out.
Oh yeah. And then, yeah.
Oh no, the door didn't slide.
No.
No. These doors didn't slide. These doors opened.
Oh.
Yeah, you're talking about a minivan.
The Cherry Bomb was big league.
Bro, you're talking about a minivan.
I didn't have a minivan. We had a big one.
The doors didn't slide on the
doors
Cherry
didn't
Bomb, dog. No.
Interesting.
I think it's a big. It's a Dodge Mark III. Let me see if I can find
You
it.
can pull that up.
Hang on.
I mean, was it aftermarket painted? Did the Deke go get this thing painted, or did it come stock?
There it is, bro. There it is. That's what we're talking about right there, bro.
Were you able to drive that ever?
Oh, bro.
Oh, you drove this. How much fun did you guys have?
No, hold on. I'll tell you. We do not have time for that. You know what? Do your letter.
Yeah.
After the letter,
I want to talk about.
I want to talk about this. We'll talk about a time I drove that Cherry Bomb.
Okay.
Circa 1997.
I
mean, it's this sort of thing.
Let's see.
This is what we're talking about. Something that looked like
Pull
that.
it up. Pull it up.
That's what we're talking about right there. The Mark III.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, you ever seen something like that?
Yeah, I think it's gorgeous.
That's what we had.
I mean, that is a beautiful vehicle.
What an abomination.
Isn't it? Oh, man.
Who would
That's
drive those
good.
things?
That is.
Oh, the 90s were so bad.
I disagree. I think they're great.
Oh, God. All right.
So we got a tradition.
Let me hear it.
We go to Blue Bayou. So we started when Houston was 8.
Yeah.
And it happens every year. So what we do is we get a season pass. You take your picture with the season pass. So it's almost like a driver's license, which I don't think I have mine. I think John was holding on to. Anyway, so I write letter. I didn't do it last year because I got pissed off at them. Had a bad experience, but I have a letter to Blue Bayou.
Well, you did write a letter to Blue Bayou last year.
Because it wasn't open, right?
No, you did the letter where you talked about the flesh-eating bacteria, the occasional turd.
That wasn't last year.
That's in your open. We just heard that little bite from there.
Yeah, bro. we go every year.
I understand.
How many years
that.
have I been doing this show? Like there's
a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, this is
long time.
So anyway, I wrote my letter to Blue Bayou Water Park.
Let's
So
hear it.
here goes. Dear Blue Bayou Water Park, like I do every year, my family and I have gotten our season passes, and we've been to your park 3 times.
Wow.
Since it opened this year, which was I want to say at the end of May. I
Y'all
missed
are so close now.
Yeah, I missed opening day,
So
which I was pissed about.
Opening day.
I missed opening day.
Okay, got it.
Missed opening day, but I was pissed. I was pissed about that. But it's okay. We got there, I think, the following. All right. I got a few things I'd like to address. And if I don't get these things addressed, I'll be asking for my refund.
Okay.
And this is the first time I've ever done this.
Okay.
I've never complained to Blue Bayou, like gone into management and complained.
All right.
I have. Now, I've done this, which is probably worse.
No, this is definitely worse. But they're about to be our neighbors, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so the parish office.
Yeah, I know.
Like, if you're standing at Blue Bayou looking across I-10, you're looking directly at the parish
I can
office.
see 6 slides from Tilly's office.
Yeah, from the back. You go out the back, you're looking straight at Blue Bayou.
I'm currently negotiating with him to trade offices so I can sit there and watch people go down. That is a true statement.
There's no way. He's not giving... The office that has the bathroom with the shower, you're not getting that.
Yeah, we're working.
You're not getting the good office.
All
You're
right.
not.
All right, first, the urinal cakes in the bathroom are disgusting. Okay.
We got to do the letter of the next segment. Can you do this fast? Because, it's already 13 past the hour. We should have taken a break 90 seconds ago already.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it fast, I guess. Or you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
I don't want this to go to like 20 past the hour that we wreck the whole hour.
Okay.
We'll come back and do Ryan's
Urinal
letter,
cakes.
and we'll talk more. And by the way, this is the last time we're doing this for like 4 weeks because I'm out next Friday. You're out the following Friday. We're both out the Friday after that. So it's not going to be till like July something that we're back here doing this. So we got to make it count. Let's have some fun. It's AFR.
AFR.
Did you hear the good news about Darren James?
What did he do now?
So the Wall Street Journal every year puts out their real trends list of the top 1% of realtors in America.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, Darren was number 54 on the list. They just came out this week with the new real trends list. And Darren James, number 1 in the state of Louisiana in transactions, number 14 in America. How many realtors are there
From
in the country?
Louisiana.
How many realtors are there in America?
Millions.
I mean,
hundreds of thousands.
Seriously, how many realtors are in America? I mean, it's incredible. And of all the realtors, I mean, I'm looking right now, you're talking about out of the 1.5 million realtors in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Darren James, number 14 in America in the number of transactions. You need the best. You need Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
But you know what? If you're wearing a Parrish hat, I'm putting one on too.
You should.
I gotta take the sticker off of this one. Did you get rid of all the hats already? Did you give them out already?
We don't have a whole lot left. We have a few.
Good thing LSU baseball didn't win because we were going to do a hat party and you gave all the hats away already.
Look, hold on. I got some new ones. These are done. Check these out.
See.
I like those.
Those will be popular.
Yeah,
yes, they'll
like
be very popular. It's not my favorite, but it'll be very popular. If you're going hat, I'm going hat too.
I need to order some more of the camos. Let me ask him.
You know what I was not prepared for today is the number of text messages I was going to get about Mark III full-size vans circa 1994. My buddy Dave Mataferi just texted me. He said, your Cherry Bomb has nothing on Big Tina, and it's him and his kid standing right next to their giant van.
Bro, Big Tina?
Big Tina.
Everybody names their van.
Bro. And then I got this one from Aaron who said, shout out to Aaron who listens in Lafayette. He said, I drove this bad boy to Karen Crow Homecoming in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Me and 9 others straight pimping. It's a big old white full-size van.
You drive that thing to a dance? You pull up with that in a dance, bro? Like homecoming or prom? Yeah.
TK said, don't forget about the Astro van. I definitely had friends whose parents drove an Astro van for sure.
Those were the broke folks.
Oh, man.
Nah, if you got an Astro van,
Why would you say that?
No offense. I didn't.
Those were the broke friends.
Yeah, but that's true.
Hey, look, bro. We didn't really live high on the hog, bro. But you know what? We put money where it mattered. In the big old Dodge Mark III, you better believe we did. Hey, send me your van pics from 1992, everybody.
Yes.
Oh, my God. All right, let's do your letter again. Muse, hit the music. We tried to do this a start, and we got so derailed, but let's do it for real this time. All right, Ryan's letter. Here we go.
Here we go. Dear Blue Bayou Water Park. Okay, this is going to Blue Bayou, my favorite place. Like I do every year, my family and I have gotten our season pass, and we've been to your park 3 times since opening this year. Got some things that I'm going to need to have addressed, or I will be asking for my money back.
Okay.
All right. First, the urinal cakes in the bathroom are disgusting. Now, you're familiar with a urinal cake.
Yeah, it takes the odor away.
It takes the odor away.
A little purple or pink or whatever. It's
but also it's there to cut down on the splashing, depending on where it's located.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's
Are
the
you
thing.
sure?
You have to have the urine. You want the urinal cake positioned in a manner where there's not a whole lot of splashing going on. I have some.
Can we confirm that? I don't think that's true.
I've got some urinal cake experience. In the minor leagues once, we bet a guy that he wouldn't eat one, and he did.
The whole thing?
He took a couple bites of a urinal cake.
How much did he get?
A couple hundred.
That's it?
Yeah, now he got all kind of rash in his mouth, and like it was disgusting. Like he had.
Did he throw up?
I don't remember. I don't think he threw up, but he ate.
Who was it?
Ryan. I'm not gonna say his last name.
No,
his first name was Ryan.
Was it you?
Nope, absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not the hey, eat this, let's see what happens guy.
Okay.
I'm not that guy. Okay. All right. So the urinal cakes are disgusting. Not only do they smell like old hot dog water, but there's pubes all over them.
Okay. What do you expect?
What is this, 1970?
What do you expect? It's a urinal cake.
I saw the longest pubic hair of my life at Blue Bayou the other day. It was 3 feet long. I'm not joking. 100% pubic hair in the urinal. I'm like, who does that? At least trim that thing up a little bit. When I peed, I was afraid that my stream would cause them to jump out on my feet, okay? I angled the stream of my urine so I wouldn't hit all the pubes.
Are you just gratuitously trying to see how many times you could say the word pubes in this segment?
I had on flip-flops.
Well, that's your fault.
What else are you going to wear at Blue Bayou?
Fair. Okay, fair.
Okay, I had on flip-flops, so that would have been really bad. All right. I'm sure I'm in the minority when it comes to actually using the bathroom at Blue Bayou or peeing, because most people just go in the wave pool.
Yeah, it's going in the wave pool. Yeah.
The wave pool is really the good spot, or the lazy river.
Oh, yeah.
When you're relaxing.
You're not getting out.
No.
You're relaxed. You're good. You're just go, man. That's
everything,
what it is,
yeah.
for sure, yeah.
And so when you go in the lazy river, you got to know that. Like, don't go underwater. That thing's about probably 15 to 20% urine.
But I'm not even worried about that because of all the chlorine in there. It's killing. I'm not worried about it. You know, and urine is sterile anyway. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
it's gross, but it's not really. It's not unsanitary. Is maybe a better way to say it.
Some people drink their pee.
Kevin Costner in Waterworld did. Remember that? He peed into a jar and he put it through a little filter thing. He drank his pee.
No, that's a thing. That's like some anti-aging
No,
properties.
that's not true.
I think it helps with blisters. I've heard that.
No, the old wives' tale is that urine helps, like if you get a stingray bite, or not a stingray, a jellyfish bite.
Oh, that's a thing. Yeah, Wes peed on me one time in Dolphin Island when I was a kid.
You pee and toothpaste are the things. What is it like the acidity?
Tobacco too, dip.
Well, sure, I can believe that.
Yeah. I got stung by a yellow jacket the other day and put my dip on it. I got stung on the ass. This is a true story, bro. I got stung on the ass by a yellow jacket last week. True story.
What's wrong with you?
Macy and George are like, Dad, what's wrong? I'm just running around the yard. It got me.
Yellow jackets are not. That's
It hurt,
serious.
bro.
Yeah, I bet so.
It hurt.
That's serious.
Can we please enforce a dress code at Blue Bayou?
No.
I think it's unfair to those of us who actually look in the mirror prior to leaving the house to have to look at your crap. Okay? It's disgusting to have. Okay, some of y'all have no shame. It's unhealthy. I hate to be mean, but please cover that crap up. This is every year. Okay, so this is what I want to suggest.
Okay.
When you go buy your bathing suit,
Yeah.
there's these things called bathing suit covers.
Cover-ups.
Cover-ups that are a thing.
Or coveralls.
Coveralls.
Yes.
Try your bathing suit on. If you look like crap, go buy the coverall and just wear that. If you're laying down, take the coverall off, get you some sun. But if you're walking around exposing all of us to that, I think that's disgusting and it's not right. Okay? You need to be better. It's gross. All right. I'm not sure how a 14-year-old know who Betty Boop is. All right?
This was our van. I found it.
You got the cherry bomb?
Bro, this isn't ours, but this was the one. It was red like that. I think ours was more chrome, though.
It's a good-looking van.
Ours was more chrome on the bumper and the running boards and stuff. That looks plastic, but that was kind of like the color right there.
That's a good one. So that's the model right there?
The Dodge Mark III.
Good van.
I wish I had a picture of it right now.
I'm sure the Deke's got a picture somewhere.
There's somewhere. Oh, man.
Okay. Where was I? Okay.
What were we doing?
No, vans are the thing.
Oh, my God.
It's so practical, though.
Is that called a
really
conversion van? Is that what that would be called? Like a Mark III? That'd be called a conversion van?
Probably. Did y'all have did you have a TV in it?
Oh, yeah, of course. The TV that wasn't as big as this screen, right? It's this big.
Yeah. Oh, big time, bro. Watching the Goonies on the way to church in the morning.
Oh, man. On family vacations, like driving to North Carolina, you got like, we would watch, we'd have like Disney movies on VHS. And then that was the time when you would like record, you put your VHS, you'd have to record on a VHS. We would record sporting events, dude. Like I can remember we'd record old like LSU College World Series baseball games and we'd watch them back in the van.
Just like with a magnifying glass. Yeah. Dude, that's big time.
Bro, you know what? 1999, your freshman season, when you all played in the Super Regional in Tuscaloosa, the first year of this format.
We lost that.
Y'all lost badly. And it was not fun at all. And Sewell Thomas was a dump, and there was no shade at all. It was miserable.
I remember that.
But that was 1999. We definitely drove. My dad and I, shout out to my godparents, Kenny and Nancy Mumford. The four of us drove to Tuscaloosa for that Super Regional, and we did my nanny. She and I sat in the captain's chairs in the middle. My dad and Mom Kenny were in the front. And we definitely sat there and watched the 1996 LSU Miami National Championship game on the way to that. Like more and more so. Like we were on the little bitty screen. Vans, how did we get on this thing about Vans? How did this start?
Vans are great.
Where did this start?
Because I said that we loaded up my family in the van, and you said no, you didn't.
Oh yeah, you don't have a van. Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Never bought a van.
Wow. And you said you did when you were a kid. Mary drove a van.
Mary had a little van.
What has happened to them?
She did.
Are you done?
I'm done. It's fine. Shout out to Mary too, by the way. Happy retirement.
Mary retired?
Mary retired.
What are they going to do at the Dunham School?
Mary retired, so 40
out.
plus 44, 45 years in education.
Wow. So Randy retired, Mary retired.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
I don't know what they're going to do. But
enjoy life and go explore the world.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Maybe do it in a van.
They should buy a van.
Buy a van and explore the world.
They should buy a van, yeah. Congratulations, Mom. You earned it. You earned some much-needed rest.
Atta babe. You know what you could fit in a van?
What's that?
A bunch of windows from Relief Windows. Maybe Brandon Holly should get vans instead of those
They
little
have
SUVs.
vans.
I know they kind of do, but they're the little small, little vans, like little sprinters, the small sprinters. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Energy efficient replacement windows. Beautiful entry doors. Hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all over at Relief Windows. Oh, yeah, they do indoor shutters as well. And have you seen their 3D models? I've been telling you about this. So shout out to everybody that's given them a shout. You've gone and scheduled that consultation. One of the hard things sometimes is when you're looking like through a flip book or just like little panels or something like that. It's cool with these 3D models because you can actually show the like the home in on a 3D model, and they could put whatever specifics you want, the type of siding, or if your home is brick and you want to see how the windows look, they can make it look exactly like your home would look on this 3D model. So if you're visual, this is super helpful as opposed to just like looking through a flip book of pictures. It's Relief Windows. Schedule that consultation at reliefwindows.com, reliefwindows.com, or give them a buzz. 288-8138, 288-8138, Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay.
I need that.
We'll give him a shout.
For the
Brandon, call him.
Yeah, for the new office.
I would love that for the new office. It'd be great. Okay, so we got to do Kick Rocks. I also want to get your reaction to LSU's baseball season coming to an end.
Okay.
So we'll do that. William Schmidt, about 45 minutes from right now. We got a lot to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here on this Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. The riot's here. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Action Industries. Been servicing the petrochemical refinery market since 1982. Online at Action, INDINC. That's what happens when I laugh a whole bunch. And then all the stuff starts to get moved a little bit. Action, INDINC.com. I could feel it about to happen, too. And I was like, should I clear my throat or just power through? I was going to try to power through, but it didn't work. It's Action Industries. Big shout out to my friends over at Action Industries. They do awesome work. If you're a maintenance manager, turnaround coordinator in one of the plants, of course, would highly recommend when that bid comes from Action, you give them a strong look and give them a shot to earn your business. Yeah, what you got?
Can I say something?
Please.
There was a big industrial convention at Lamar Dixon. I saw Action there.
Well,
they had a booth.
They do exchanger tube cleaning. They have a fabrication shop as well. They're the best. They're awesome local business. Been around since 1982. Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along here, hour number 2. We're glad you're aboard with us here this Friday edition. Theriot's in studio. We do have a little bit of breaking news. Matt Zenitz over at 247 is reporting LSU is getting a familiar face in the running back room. No, not Trey Holly. John Emery. Matt Zenitz, man, clear my throat. Matt Zenitz reporting John Emery, who left LSU, entered the transfer portal in April, who you might remember committed to UCLA, is returning to LSU. Of course, former 5-star recruit, had an up-and-down career at LSU, mostly due to injuries and academic suspension, as we all well know. But John Emery, according to Matt Zenitz, headed back to LSU. My first reaction to that, and I didn't know that was percolating for John. You know, he'd committed to UCLA, and it would stand to reason if there was an opportunity there for him to go and start and get reps that he'd take it. But John Emery did graduate, which is fantastic news for him. And in all sincerity, for all of the obstacles, the hardships that John Emery faced, for a guy who came to LSU out of Destrehan as a 5-star, one of the top running backs in the country, with all the expectation, to play that freshman year in 2019 and LSU wins the national championship. And then, of course, there was the COVID year in 2020. And then to miss the entire 2021 season due to the academic suspension, to return in 22, then to have the torn ACL last year. I mean, he could have left. John Emery could have left LSU and gone pro after the academic suspension year and never played in college again. Like, he could have just said, I'm going to go. And someone would have given him a shot to go make a team.
Yeah.
He's talented and gifted enough. He would have had an opportunity to make a team.
He'll test.
But he kept coming back and worked and graduated, got his degree. And I don't know the story here. I mean, again, this just broke literally minutes ago that John Emery's going to return to LSU, according to Matt Zenitz. I don't know what his role might be on this team next year. I think we're all very excited to see Caleb Jackson get an increased role. Josh Williams is back for a 6th season. We'll see what happens with Trey Holly. Brian Kelly continues to say they're confident he's going to be reinstated. You got the super talented freshman Caden Durham coming in from Duncanville. And now John Emery coming back does add another depth piece, another veteran piece into the running back room. But you got to wonder what John's role will be in that running back room. But it's a guy who just can't seem to quit LSU, man. You know, in a portal era when a lot of guys leave and don't stay, John Emery has stuck it out, man, through a lot of really challenging times. I salute him for that. I mean, I know when he came here as a 5-star, everybody had grand expectations, and because of injury and some academic stuff, it hasn't materialized the way we probably thought it would have when he signed back in 2019. But That dude has stuck it out, man. You've got to commend him for that. And he has had some really special moments at LSU as well.
He has some moments. There's always like that one run, and you're like, oh my gosh, can he just keep doing that? Or
the touchdown against Alabama, the touchdown reception against Alabama in 22 is the one that everybody will talk about.
Yeah. Now the talent is for sure there. What I hope doesn't happen, because I am one of those people that's really excited to see Caleb Jackson get more carries and consistent carries. Like I'd like to see him get, 15, 20 carries a game and see what he could do.
I don't know that we'll ever see a running back at 20.
I get it.
But I know what you mean.
Touches, balls out of the backfield, whatever it may be, because his skill set. But look, I'll say this too. Very similar to what John
Emery?
John Emery, if John Emery was that guy every play, I think that's who Caleb Jackson is. I think their skill set, their abilities are very similar. Caleb Jackson's a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Caleb Jackson reminds me more of Jeremy Hill, Leonard Fournette, like a guy that has the power to run between the tackles, but has
a
game-breaking ability as well. John's a little different. John's just that play against Bama, man. Golly. The touchdown reception where he just planted on the sideline, cut back in, it was just one of the most incredible individual plays. That play, the touchdown reception for Emory against Bama in Tiger Stadium 2 years ago, that was the personification of all the expectation of what John Emery is physically, the ability he has. And let's not forget as well, John Emery's coming off a torn ACL. His season ended when he planted. Was that Florida? Was that the Florida game when he planted and his knee buckled? But I'm pretty sure it was the Florida game. Could you please find that for me? Anyway,
it's a lot of good backs. Josh Williams is a good back, man.
He is.
I mean, he's a heck of a back. I mean, he could retire next year and get full benefits, but he's a heck of a back.
Yeah, it's Florida.
The Florida game. Okay. So I mean, that was near the end of the season. That was when Jaden had his monster game. So that's the last. So John Emery's coming off a torn ACL. We presume he'll be fine and recovered and ready to go. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, it's after further review. We'll do Kick Rocks here in a second. We're a little off schedule. We'll get to Ask Ryan in about 5 minutes. Brought to you by Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. If you want to install a Generac automatic home standby generator, call Optimize. They are Louisiana's #1 Generac dealer. This is objective fact. This isn't my opinion. They have the trophies and the awards to show it from Generac because they have 4 physical locations spanning Lake Charles to Slidell, the entire 10-12 corridor. 4 physical locations. Their newest physical location is in Kenner. If you exit Loyola, like toward the interstate, you exit Loyola like 5 seconds off the exit of Loyola is where their new location is. But anyway, it doesn't matter where you are on the I-10, I-12 corridor in Louisiana, Optimize will come to you. Go to GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. If you think you can't afford a Generac automatic home standby generator, if you have $600 for a down payment, they have a financing option that will fit any budget. And right now, if you buy right now, there's a free 10-year warranty. Optimize. Go to GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. And if you don't go to GeneratorPeople.com, you can kick rocks.
It's time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge. Or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick Rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
We got a couple new additions to the SEC.
Yep.
University of Texas,
yep.
Longhorns.
Yep.
And then we've got Oklahoma, the Sooners.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that to happen. 2 great programs. But the University of Texas, specifically the baseball program, can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Okay.
Hey, and here's why. Yeah, you were good when Clemens was there. To think that you could maybe get Jay Johnson to be your coach is laughable.
Idiots.
There is no way that would have ever happened. He came here for a reason. That's to win championships. He did that.
Yeah.
With a lot more coming. You guys stink. Are not good. Jay would take the BRCC job.
No.
Before he would go to the University of Texas. You've got more of a chance of winning a championship over there at BRCC, the Bears, than you do at the University of Texas. That is a true statement.
So Kendall Rogers was here yesterday and said that if Texas fires David Pierce, he does expect that they'll make a run at Jay Johnson. Yeah. If they do, I believe it would be unsuccessful, but yes.
Okay, Texas, you guys kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Okay. So LSU had a tough one. This baseball club had a tough one. I think they had a chance to win the regional.
Yeah.
And then it would have put him in a really good spot at the Super, which, anything can happen, but the path was easier than it would have been, in any other scenario to get to Omaha. So, which would have been great. Didn't happen. Some things happened during the game. But again, it's baseball. The fans that took to social media blaming one play on the game being lost can kick rocks.
Okay. Kick rocks.
The fans that also took to social media blaming the coach can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Let me educate you guys a little bit. The reason why baseball is the greatest game on the planet is because the game, my guy Chris McGee said this, and I listened, is so fragile. Like, one decision, missed ball, missed cutoff man, dropped strike 3, pickoff that happened in the first, second, or third inning can be the reason why you lost the game. There is not one play that ever determines that. If you go all the way back to who's home and visitor, where's the sun in the sky? Is the wind blowing in? Is the wind blowing out? If you took to social media, number one, attacked a kid who, by the way, played his butt off, or the coach or coaches for making certain decisions, you have no clue what you're talking about. And you should be suspended from social media and commenting about baseball because the kids played their butts off. You had 3 true freshmen starting in the biggest game of their lives that I thought played great. And instead, you should be excited. You should be excited about the future, excited about the experience, excited about Chase Shores coming back throwing 100 next year.
I'm excited about that.
It's going to be great, and I thought they had a great year. And for those of you that didn't, you can kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Well, they didn't have a great year. This is LSU. Losing a road regional is not a great year. And I'll never budge off that standard.
They had
an exciting run in the final month to put themselves in position, but it was not a great year.
An encouraging run after a disappointing start. I'm encouraged. I'm excited. I am. And I'm hard on LSU baseball.
Yes.
The WNBA can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
The WNBA stinks. People are actually now watching it now because of Caitlin Clark.
True.
Not because of Angel Reese.
Not because of Angel Reese.
Okay, sorry.
Love Angel Reese.
I love Angel Reese. It's not because of you.
That's not why they're watching.
No, you do everything that everybody else does, Angel. And I love you, but that's just the truth. Caitlin Clark does something different. That's why people are watching. WNBA can kick rocks for not embracing that. They're not embracing it. They need to embrace it, and people will continue to watch it. Or she's just not going to play anymore. She'll go play in the Big 3 or whatever. Anyway, y'all can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
All right. We got to go to break. Wrap up hour number 2 with Ask Ryan next. Get your questions in. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Weekends here. Oh, it's a good time to get by Clegg's on the weekend. It is. It's always a good time to get by Clegg's, but especially on the weekend when you have a little time. You know, it's not like I got to run by there after work real quick. You can, but when it's the weekend, you can get there early. You know, you want to wake up at dawn.
Get you a cup of coffee. Run over to Clay's. Throw a couple Dippledanias in the back.
Erica loves them so much. And you know what? I'm not even joking. They are great flowers. They are.
Hardy.
They thrive in a tropical climate. And they're beautiful. They have like orange and pink and red
Some
and
girth
white.
to them.
Yeah. They got that.
Sustainable.
They're like it adds so much color and ambiance by the pool area.
Well said. Character.
It really does.
Gives you some character.
I'm not even joking. Like that's
Me neither.
It's a great flower if you're looking for something that thrives in the summer heat in Louisiana. They got them at Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, Friday's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Y'all get on by this weekend, man. Have you a cocktail, have you a premium cigar. One of the best spots to go unwind, relax. Tell them we sent you in. We'll take great care of you over at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Or want to stock your stash, of course, fill up your home humidor. Grab just maybe a cigar or two for a special occasion. Get them over at Don Juan in the retail shop right next door to Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Okay, let's get to Ask Ryan. Got a question for Theriot. You can ask Ryan anything about anything. Email us, tweet us at Matt Moscona, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Randall Offrecht said, ask Ryan. How do you feel about LSU season ending in a regional? Was it a good season? No, we kind of just talked about that, actually.
Yeah, look, I mean, standards, like you said, standards are Omaha, our national championship. But where the team was and the way that they finished, where they started, where they finished, I'm encouraged.
Kellen has a van. Says my van's name is Betsy.
Everybody names their van.
Everybody names their van. Evans, ask Ryan, favorite season, hunting or fishing?
Fishing. But I don't get to do it as much because I have a lot going on. But I would say if I had to pick one, I would go fishing.
Jesse Brown asked Ryan, what's wrong with you? I think that was about the urinal cakes. Is probably when that came in.
I didn't eat the urinal cakes.
Ask Ryan, what about the van down by the river?
Yeah, that was good.
Well, Matt Foley.
It's classic.
Oh, look, he superimposed you on Matt Foley's body. With that, your face on Matt Foley's body. And look, then he did this one too. He said, this is the greatest van ever, and it's you and me. Oh no, that's just your face. For the Dumb and Dumber van, the Shaggin' Wagon.
It's a good van.
Very good.
Vans are good,
TK did some work, man.
People are talented. TK's talented. I mean, it looks real almost.
Tony Moore asked Ryan, is Dylan Cruz the best all-around player ever to play at LSU in baseball?
Up there for sure. I don't I'm going to say yeah. I mean,
Kyle, ask Ryan, who'll be first rounders next year on the football team? Will Campbell, Emory Jones, maybe Kyron Lacey.
Perkins?
Harold Perkins for sure, if he has a good year. Nussmeier, if he blows up, potentially.
Oh, he's winning the Heisman.
Craig Alema asked Ryan, speaking about the whole van reminiscing from back in the day, did you ever ride around hippie style and smoke the stuff Musso takes part in often?
No, I didn't do that.
You can't get a van at South Point Volkswagen, but if you go to South Point Volkswagen in the lobby...
Could you trade your van in?
Yeah, oh, for sure. And in the lobby, I'm glad you said that, actually. In the lobby, they do have an old Volkswagen van that they've converted into a photo booth.
Nice.
So much of buying a Volkswagen is about the fun, the experience. But also, I was talking to Brad yesterday over at South Point. I'm glad you said that. They have a trade-in event going on all month in June. Like, they are trying to increase their used car inventory. So if you're thinking about a new car, you want to trade in your old car, make sure you get the South Point Volkswagen because they'll give you top dollar for your trade-in right now. So their used car event's going on right now, so they need your trade-ins over at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Ask Ryan. Gosh, dog it. Well, this guy, Chris, I'll show you this one off air. He said, who do I contact first for parish equipment needs? I'll show you this off air.
Okay.
I'll show you that off air. Okay, all right. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Sports Center's coming up. We'll kick off hour number 3. William Schmidt in 20 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you need to buy land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. As a matter of fact, guy to my left called First South Farm Credit as well. Connected with Tim. Great dude over there as well. Process, easy.
It was simple. Yeah, the cool thing about First South is they'll actually communicate and work with your lender, with your bank. It's not intimidating. Most people don't know how to get that land lend. With those guys, they make it simple.
They're awesome. It's First South Farm Credit. You know what else First South does? They offer a patronage refund.
Oh, yeah.
So because they are a cooperative, they share their profits with their member borrowers. So have you ever had a lender write you a check? That happens every year at First South Farm Credit.
And it's significant.
FirstSouthLand.com. Online, FirstSouthLand.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports Chiefs defensive end B.J. Thompson is now awake. He was taken to the hospital Thursday after suffering a seizure and cardiac arrest. Thompson was a 5th-round draft pick out of Stephen F. Austin last year. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Connecticut coach Dan Hurley is meeting today with Lakers owner Jeannie Buss and VP of basketball ops Rob Pelinka. Hurley has not made a decision yet about jumping to the NBA. ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
UConn was not able to get a contract extension done with Dan Hurley in these 2 months that have passed since they won that title. And I will point out this week they did get one done with Gino Auriemma, their legendary women's basketball coach. That's in place. So now UConn is scrambling.
Brian Windhorst on Get Up. A year ago, Hurley did sign an extension through 2029 after the first of the back-to-back championships. French Open men's semis, Alexander Zverev beats Casper Ruud in 4 sets. Carlos Alcaraz beats Jannik Sinner in 5 sets.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right. You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. 5 o'clock. Quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Yeah, man.
All right.
A William Schmidt in 15 minutes. Cali High. Gatorade. Louisiana Player of the Year. A projected first-round draft pick, but an LSU signee. A guy who, in about a month's time, when the MLB draft rolls around, he'll have a decision to make. Is he going to sign a pro contract? Is he going to come to school? Very candid. We'll have William with us in 12 minutes. Very candidly, they asked me not ask him specifically about the draft, and I will respect that. It's a young person who is being advised by, but certainly family, but also representation, and
Sure.
you don't ever want to slip up and say something you shouldn't, as high-level negotiations will be ongoing. But I do want to talk to him. I mean, it's a fascinating rise that he's had to one of the top prospects in the country, a guy who you've worked with. When did you start working?
Oh, man. Was it 8, 9 years old?
Okay, so you've known him a long time.
Yeah, coached him.
Long time.
All through Little League, sure.
And now he's at this point where he's very well going to hear his name called in round one, and may not play for the Tigers, but it's been a dream of his, right, for a long time.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to William Schmidt coming up here a little more than about 12 minutes from right now. One other thing I wanted to get to you real quick. So we got this news today. So Stephen Milam, after a fantastic freshman season, has been invited to try out as one of 56 non-draft eligible college players who's been invited to try out to Team USA's Collegiate National Team training camp this summer. So I'm just curious your thoughts on – we've seen a lot of guys over the years go play for the Collegiate National Team. I'm just curious your thoughts on the value of this for Stephen in this summer, like as opposed to – maybe going to play in one of the wooden bat leagues, right? One of the collegiate leagues. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on Milam going to try for Team USA?
I think the value is, I think it's more of a practice rep type scenario than would be if you were to go to Cape Cod, for instance, or one of the.
What do you mean?
Well, you're trying out for the team. In Cape Cod, you're playing a schedule, like you're playing. So there's not a whole lot of like practice going on there, and so. Just the value of him being in that scenario, being in that spring training type workout in the morning, do this, play in the evening, or not. Maybe you're just, they're evaluating you to maybe make the team. That's great. But, for a switch hitter, I think, the more swings and at bats and looks that you can get, the better. And so I think this is a really cool thing. Also, when you're in that travel ball, mindset, experience, atmosphere growing up, like Team USA is the pinnacle. You can go to all these select teams and get chosen to play on this team and travel with that team, but like the best of the best always goes to Team USA. And so to wear the stars and stripes across your chest, that's a hell of an honor, number one. But that's when you go, you've made it. Like I was on the Cape Cod League All-Star team. We got to play Team USA. Like we got to play. Mm-hmm. Like they were better than we were. You know what I mean? So this is a great honor for him to be given this opportunity. And, I think it's great and well-deserved.
There's plenty of Tigers, I'm not painting it as a negative. I'm just asking, like, of course it's an amazing honor. Mm-hmm. Dylan Cruz played in the collegiate. We've seen dozens of LSU players over the years go play for the collegiate national team. Skip managed the collegiate national team. I'm sorry, not the collegiate national team. Skip managed the Olympic team in the 96 games in Atlanta. Warren Morris was on that team as well. So, yeah, I'm just curious as far as just functionality of like what you do in a summer after your season. Like, how important is it to play? How should you take time off? Should you be in a league? Should you go play for Team USA in practice? I guess it's all just different experiences. I'm just wondering how do you differentiate what's maybe more beneficial or not?
I think everybody's different. Like I didn't play after my freshman year.
So you just shut it down for the summer?
I didn't play at all.
Then what did you do the next 2 years?
At Cape Cod the following year.
So that was after the national championship.
Yeah, and then the next year I was drafted, so went to play pro ball.
So you only did 1 year of summer league.
Mm-hmm. After your freshman year, that is a shock, going from playing at Broadmoor High School, 30 games to however many games, high leverage, like intense games. You play all fall, which you're not really used to. I wasn't used to that, playing games in the fall. And then you jump straight to the spring and play, and then you get to the super regional and lose. But I was, mentally just spent, done. I had a back issue that I needed to get healthy. I never missed any time because I'm tough. But I needed to get healthy. And but yeah, look,
is that why you led the league in errors?
It was my back's fault. Yeah, my back led the league in errors. Look, everybody's different, man. Some guys they don't function well with downtime and rest. And Milam would be a kid that would strike me as that.
That's what I was going to ask. So he is finishing up his freshman year, and now he is going to go play for Team USA. And we'll see what all the assignments are where everybody goes. But it is fun to watch the guys as they go off into their summer leagues, and you can kind of get a sense of who's developing, who's coming along, who has a good summer. Maybe they can use it as a springboard into the next year. But Stephen Milam will be up in Cary, North Carolina, invited to try out for the USA Baseball Collegiate National Team there at their training camp. So congrats. And by the way, also, we should have mentioned this yesterday, but congrats to Griffin Herring. He is a finalist for the NCBWA's Stopper of the Year, so the best relief pitcher in college baseball. So congrats. He's a finalist for the award. We'll see if he wins it, but certainly deserving. I mean, Griffin Herring, for this team throughout the year, which, as we talked about, man, they had their highs near the end, but really for the bulk of the first 2 months of conference play, the first 6 weeks certainly of conference play, it was disappointing. I mean, to lose that many consecutive weekends, we had never seen that before, and finally break through and get that weekend series win against Missouri to finish as strong as they did was great. But a big part of that was Griffin Herring. I mean, he was awesome for them all year. So, do you think he'll have a decision to make as a draft eligible sophomore? Does he sign a pro contract or does he come back? And my understanding is that if Herring came back, it would be with the understanding that he is coming back with an opportunity to be a starting pitcher.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's the discussion with the coaches too. Like, we're going to give you that chance or that opportunity because look, the reliever is just not getting paid in the draft the same way the starter is. The best. There's been a few instances, but where the reliever's the first round guy and he's a closer throwing 100 and all that. But Griffin's not that. I think he is a guy that can transition from the bullpen to a starting role. Oh, multiple pitches. I wouldn't say a high velocity, upper 90s guy. I feel like he could sustain that, 92 to 95, for over a period of 60, 70, 80 pitches. The breaking ball is really good. The changeup came along toward the end of the year. So he's not just kind of a one-trick pony type guy.
If I told you, last thing we'll break and we'll get to William Schmidt. So, man, I do want your opinion on all these guys. Maybe we'll do this after we talk to William, but there's so many guys we have talked about that are going to have decisions to make this year, right? Like Jared Jones has a decision to make. Like, does he sign? Does he come back for a junior year as a draft-eligible sophomore? But if I told you, all right, Cade Anderson, talking about rotation next year. Cade Anderson's back for a sophomore year. Let's say, hypothetically, Herring's coming back with an opportunity to win a job. Chase Shores, who throws 100, is coming off of injury, and we all presume he's going to be in the rotation next year. Cam Johnson, lefty who turned down nearly $3 million to show up on campus, right? You're going to hit the transfer portal, without question.
Yeah, you'll get a guy.
Or to remember, the last 2 years, Jay signed 2 starters. 2 years ago it was Skeens and Hurd. This year it was Jump and Holman. I guess you could throw Laura in there as well because he did start for Xavier. But best guess, how would you think that shakes out and shapes up?
Dude, I had Shores before the injury as the Friday night guy this year. I can remember watching him. I guess he backed up Skeens a few times. And I'm like, this kid's got better stuff than Skeens. And the angle's tough. He's bigger. He's throwing just as hard. So to me, if he's back to where he was his freshman year, he's got to be a weekend rotation guy. Cade Anderson had his struggles in the SEC. That's well documented, but pitched great midweek and then pitched great at the end of the year. In crunch time when we really needed him, he was lights out.
He was awesome in the region.
Just lights out.
He was good in the SEC tournament, too.
Yeah. So he would have to be a weekend guy for me. If Griffin Herring, he's up for this award. The guy can really pitch, man. So the rotation looks good without any transfers. Now Jay's going to go get a guy or two. Herring coming off an injury, you really don't know what you're going to get. Shores. Didn't another guy go down last year along with Shores? Did they have 2? It seems like there was another one.
We haven't seen Jaden Newt pitch. Is that what you're talking about?
Newt. That's who I'm talking about. Yeah. And he's supposed to be.
So,
yeah.
They've got no shortage of arms, but of all the guys we just mentioned, none of them has been a weekend starter in the SEC. So if you're Jay, yeah, you got talent, you got options, but do you want the security blanket of like a Luke Holman who had been a Friday night guy in the SEC bringing him in? That's what you would get in the portal if you go get someone like that. So we'll see. I think we'll probably start getting some of those answers early next week with the portal. Okay, it's after further review. Let's not get a break. One guy who, if he shows up on campus, would certainly be vying for a weekend rotation as well as William Schmidt. So let's grab a break, come back. We'll talk to Schmitty next. It's AFR.
AFR.
It has been my pleasure this week to begin to introduce you to Derek Duplessis and Duplessis Builders, Pools and Outdoor Living. Highly recommend you go to duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net. When you go to the website, you'll see a quote from Gucci. Quality is remembered long after the price is forgotten. So the bottom line is, with Derek Duplessis, when it comes to building your pool, he's never going to cut corners. Expect this to be a 2-month process. You see, Derek has an engineering background, graduated from LSU in mechanical engineering with a minor in aerospace engineering. He worked as an engineer, didn't love the lifestyle, opened his own company, started building pools, but he's still staying true to those fundamental engineering practices, which when you spray gunite or shoot gunite, it takes 21 days to cure properly. You want to know why he's got a lifetime workmanship guarantee? Because he does it right and stands by his work. DuplessisBuilders.net. Check him out, DuplessisBuilders.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Oh, yeah! Bring it up, yeah! William Schmidt! No matter what the cost. William Schmidt! 'Cause we'll fight forever till the last white line is crossed. That's right. Put some respect on the national champion Catholic High my baseball team, Max Preps, #1 in the country, blowing past Corona, California. Those chumps had no shot. Because you know what happens? You put William Schmidt on the bump, everybody else is screwed. That's why. You know what we do, Theriot?
What do we do?
You know what we do on Hearthstone Drive? We hang banners.
Hang banners.
We fill trophy cases.
Trophy cases.
That's what we do. We win national championships. Huh, Theriot?
That's right, Schmitty.
Right. So fired up right now. William Schmidt, the Gatorade Louisiana Player of the Year.
Player of the world.
Best in the history of mankind.
That's right. Pitcher of the
Calachi
world.
Bear, good enough to join. LSU signee, good enough to join us. Schmitty, how are you, man?
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
Man, I'm feeling awesome. Is it the best?
I can tell.
Dude.
How was that open?
How was that?
Did you like it?
Good.
That was awesome.
Do you know the words to the fight song?
No idea.
It's so disappointing. See, when I was there, we used to print the words of the fight song and put them in every classroom. So everybody knew the fight song in the alma mater.
At Catholic.
At Catholic. Need to bring that back. You know what I mean?
Walked into class, you had to recite it.
No, we didn't do that. We did pray before every class. I'm sure they certainly still do that. But no, we did not have to recite that. That's not why William's here. Anyway, ask him a question.
Okay.
I
got it.
I tried to give you an opportunity to lead. All right, go ahead. Fine.
I got one. Who was your favorite?
He's already laughing.
He loves it. Well, yeah. Who was your favorite Little League coach of all time? I need to know that first and foremost.
Oh, God.
Don't you do it.
Do you want the honest answer, or you want the answer that you want to hear?
No, I want you to say my name.
Answer.
No, I want you to say my name. That's what I want you to do right now.
I'll go Chris McGee.
Yeah. I got it.
Ooh, how about it? Theriot.
Shout out to McGee.
Smacked. Hey,
Chris, baby.
William, congrats on a great season, man. Bears win the state championship. Your Gatorade State Player of the Year. I saw you won the Advocate Star of Stars. Can you describe what this year has been like for you? I would imagine probably a bit surreal, but what's it been like for you?
Yeah, it's like unrealistic, and in my eyes, like never thought any of this would happen. But for me, state championship was the most important piece of the puzzle. I love everyone on Catholic High, and of course, Natty Champs, baby. Bringing it back home. Everyone on Catholic's team, they all deserve the awards that they received, and it was a great season. And looking forward to the next step.
What was it like? We're showing the video right now. You were on the bump there in the final against Curtis. Of course, the Bears shut out Curtis 5-0. You're on the bump for the final out. What was that moment like for you?
Been dreaming about it since my freshman year. Before the game, told my coaches that no matter how many pitches I was at, they weren't taking me out. It was kind of selfish, but I was throwing the final one. But it's not as great as people may perceive it. Like, you're just at the bottom of a bunch of sweaty boys jumping on top of you, and you're getting your face kicked into the ground. I had like a turf burn on the side of my cheek from just getting pounded into the turf. But you really don't care in the moment. It's just the aftermath that hurts a little bit.
William Schmidt is with us. It's interesting to hear you say, like, I don't care how many pitches I throw. Like, because from an outsider's perspective, like, everybody can look at, like, prospect rankings and all, and you're at the top of everybody's list and all that stuff, and that's an awesome place to be. I mean, is there a point, though, where you think about your future and what's ahead, and, like, do you jeopardize or risk what's ahead of you for what's in front of you right now?
To win a state championship, no. But, our coaching staff handles it all pretty well. They know what's at stake, and they did a great job of handling it this year. But during the high school season, it's all about winning that game that day, each pitch at a time.
William Schmidt is our guest. I obviously haven't I haven't known you as long as Ryan has and seen you since you were 8, 9 years old, play, whatever. But it's when you talk to scouts and people who talk about you, like, your development in the last 12 to 16 months has just been like to the next level. Can you kind of walk us through what that was like? Like, when did you start to know, and how did you take this leap from like prospect, like really good player, to, my God, like you might be a first round pick?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, freshman year, I almost transferred schools because I didn't even make the baseball team almost. But I was about, I don't know, I was a late bloomer, like 5'5", 100 pounds, soaking wet. Like bottom of the line baseball player, like bottom of the barrel, no good. And coaches kept me along for the ride. And about a year later, I grew like a foot and put on a little weight and started to throw a little harder, but was still like, I was good, but I wasn't this good. And then after my sophomore year, I grew into my body a little bit, and it all started coming together. Like just one summer, one event at a time. Like you just kept seeing jumps upon jumps. And I started getting on a program, gaining weight, getting stronger. And it wasn't really till like this last summer where like I was like, well, okay, we got a little something going here.
But you did some things.
Something going here.
But you did some things on your own. I saw you. I saw you training, and I saw you working out every single day. And it was on top of the stuff that was required of you. You did a lot on your own, and this goes back, when you were in Little League, but it really ramped up in the weight room. There were times where I would see you after Catholics practice and Catholics weight training, in traction training by yourself, right?
Yes, sir. With Paul Moffitt.
Attaboy.
Yep.
You signed with LSU, and I think a lot of us saw earlier this week you were up at the game up in North Carolina. William, it kind of feels like you're like a lot of people who grow up around here. You watch that team, you love them, and you dream to play for them. Can you just kind of walk us through that, like what your relationship is throughout your life with LSU and watching the team play?
Oh, yeah. I'd almost call myself a super fan. I've lived in Baton Rouge for 18 years. I've gone to every single football home game since I was like 6 years old. Then went to the regional and super regional last year. Went up to North Carolina this last week. But I'm just a super fan who happens to be good at baseball, and that's just like an extra benefit of it. I guess it's cool that a dream gets to come true for a kid like me growing up here. And, it's just cool how it all works out like that.
No, look, you'll have a decision to make whenever the time comes with the draft. And, whatever that decision is, we'll wish you all the luck in the world and hope that everything goes great and all your baseball dreams come true. But can you tell us what it's been like to be recruited by Jay Johnson and this staff?
I think he is the best recruiter in college baseball. It is hard to say no to him. He's a great recruiter, great coach. The whole staff is. But I'm not gonna say he puts the pressure on you, but he makes it hard to refuse.
Can you give me an example? Like, you mean like when he's talking to you on the phone, in person? Like what? Because most people listening understand, like I and most people listening will never have a coach recruiting them to play college sports. So what's that like?
When he wants you, bro. He wants you. He will not stop until he gets you. No, but he does a great job of it. Like after I opened up like a year ago, or like 9 months ago, I was on the phone with him 3 times a week for however long. And he's so good at his job. It's so hard to say no to him.
Well, hoping that Jay Johnson is the LSU coach for a very, very long time. And there's a lot of people here would love to see you in the purple and gold, man. Hey, before you go, what's the next month like for you now that the high school baseball season's over and the draft's a month away? Like, what do you do for June?
I've just been in the weight room trying to gain weight, because whether I go to the draft or go to LSU, I'm going to have to put on some weight sooner than later. So I've been in the weight room trying to eat a lot, and I'm just waiting it out right now.
Yeah.
No throwing. I mean, we shut down from throwing pretty much for now.
Yes, sir. We're shut down for now.
All right. William, man, we appreciate the time. Congrats. Thanks for letting us have some fun at the beginning as well. I'll love to sing the fight song and yell about Catholic High anytime I can, because the Catholic High people love it and everybody else hates it. So I love to just needle them a little bit. You know what I mean? William Schmidt, Gatorade, Louisiana Player of the Year. Hey, man, congrats on the state championship, on the national championship, and good luck in the next month or so, man. We'll keep in touch, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me on.
That's our pleasure. William Schmidt, senior over at Catholic High. I had heard last year he kind of hit the velo last summer is when it really started to bump. It's like, oh, kind of what he described there. I didn't realize that he was 5'5", 100 pounds and got cut as a freshman.
He didn't get cut, but it was
or just didn't.
It was
play?
I don't know if this kid's gonna make the team or not.
Yeah.
Conversation with parents and him and you know what I mean? Like, and he says he was a bad ball player. That's not true. He was a good ball player, but you didn't really know what he was going to be. The arm was always there, but it wasn't elite.
He was pitching at that point?
Yeah, he was always a good pitcher for us, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this guy's a dude. And then he downplayed this, but I will say I'm most proud of him for the work he did when nobody was watching. And he did. Now, Mother Nature and genetics allows him to be 6'5" and have long arms that hang down to his knees. But this dude busts his butt. I mean, he truly did. Clay Moff and him in that weight room every single day, it seemed like, and it's paid off, man. That's what makes me most proud.
I need to talk to Clay. I didn't realize he was working out with Clay. I need to run him down and see what Clay's got to say about it. So, of course, Clay played. Clay was a winning pitcher in a state championship game for Catholic after his knee injuries in football, and then went on and pitched at LSU, as I think everybody remembers. And then Clay, kind of following his dad's footsteps, began training guys at Traction. I mean, when I've gone in there, Clay works out with a lot of pro guys who are in their off season in town. Clay trains them. So, and
it's not easy, by the way.
No,
yeah, he puts it on those guys.
All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or go to williamsoneye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Eye care, eyewear, and eye surgery. It's an all-inclusive, all-encompassing eye center with locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area, including the newest location in the river parishes. So no matter where you are in greater Baton Rouge, man, the Williamson Eye Center can help you out. If you need that eye exam, if you need to buy contacts or glasses, or if you want to get rid of those contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can help. Just call 924-2020. I cannot stress this enough. It starts with that consultation. Just go meet with Dr. Blake Williamson. It's free. Let him explain these procedures. Let him explain the options, what to expect, and then you make a decision if it's right for you. I had LASIK 6 years ago. Paulie had LASIK a year or two ago now. By now, I mean it's a life-changing thing, and I could not recommend it more highly. And of course, Dr. Blake Williamson, who's just the best. 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com. All right, that was a good convo with William Schmidt. Awesome. Would obviously just love for him to show up on campus. I think at some point, though, you have to be realistic when you're talking about a guy like that. And I say that understanding Cam Johnson was a lefty who threw 100 who showed up on campus. It happens. It's rare, but it happens. And maybe that guy's love for LSU is the thing that ultimately maybe leads him here. We'll see. Yep. Okay. Let's knock out a quick break. We'll come back, rolling along, get to Ask Ryan, wrap up the show here in about 15 minutes. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's. Man, summer weekends are a ton of fun, man. Maybe summer weekends, you're hanging out, throwing some meat on the grill, having a few cold pops out by the pool, just enjoying some family or whatever it may be. Make Rouse's a part of your weekend. Look, if you're making groceries, of course, skip by Rouse's. You go to the website, you go to the app, hit the weekly ad tab. You'll see all the discounts they have there for that week, all the savings and specials that week at Rouse's. So you need, if you're buying your groceries on a budget or you just want to save money, and you're being sensible, Rouse's can help you do that always. And man, they got a great selection. Whether you want to go buy some meat to throw on the grill, some fish, if you want to fry it, grill it, blacken it, whatever it may be, they have an amazing selection. Their seafood market, their butcher shop. If you want something already prepared, grab for dinner tonight, grab and go sushi. They've got hot plates already made. They got the hot bar where you can make your own plate. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints with nearly 70 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach. It's Rouse's.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you.
I know you wonder why I'm so cool. Don't ask me, just do what you do. Meet me in the trail. It's going down.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
So the NCAA today, we all expected this, but they passed the rule that allows football programs now, athletic departments, to put logos, sponsored logos, on the football field. You get 2 smaller logos around like the 25-yard line and 1 logo at midfield. And, of course, those that wax poetic about the way things used to be and the sacred traditions of college football are melting down today. Never mind the fact that every time you ever watch a bowl game, there's logos all over the field. There's bowl patches on uniforms. The funny thing is, I asked Ryan about it in the break. I was like, what do you think about this? He goes, what did you just say to me?
Like that they couldn't do that? I mean, it just blows my mind.
Couldn't do it already? Yeah, like
what?
the point being... And you are one of the guys that does kind of get romantic sometimes about the way things used to be, and you and I butt heads on that a lot. But that's the point, like, you didn't even realize it, that they couldn't do that already. Because, like, you walk into the PMAC, and they have the Cox logo on the floor. You go into Alec Box Stadium, and there's friggin' walled, the entire outfield fence. It's nothing but ads all over the outfield wall. It's just part of our life, man. Like, you watch the NBA. They've got patches on their jerseys now. Like, it's coming in all sports. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, one of the most successful leagues in the world is the Premier League. Their jerseys are ad. It doesn't have a team name on it. It's just an ad, a company on the front of their jersey. And people buy them, and kids buy them and wear them all over the place. Like, I think people just hate change so much sometimes and push back against just the fundamental shift in college athletics that we're going through. And yes, it's all rooted in greed before, as the powers that be kept making more money and more money and more money. And now the revenue generation is out of necessity because the NCAA just settled this House lawsuit for more than $2 billion. And brother, athletic departments are going to have to next year start sharing roughly $20 million of revenue with student athletes. Well, guess what's going to happen? If you need to start sharing $20 million in revenue with student athletes, you're either cutting spending or finding a way to generate more revenue. And honestly, it's probably both. So, yeah, you got to go find ways. And they're estimating, I gave you that sheet. What's the estimate they think they could get for they put a price they thought they could get on it for a logo? Did I highlight it on there?
It's not highlighted, but
I mean, if you're going to get 7 figures for a logo on the field placement, you get a couple $1 million a year. Yeah, I mean, of course you're not going to turn your back on an opportunity to make $2 million plus in revenue, top line revenue.
That logo on the field is high 6 figures. I'll say it's going to be $500,000, probably more. It's not on here.
I'm pretty sure I saw it that the estimates. It obviously would depend on the program in the field, but it was north of 2, I think, for the season that you could get for something like that.
I could definitely see that because
I mean, imagine if I don't think they would replace the eye of the tiger, like at Tiger Stadium, but imagine if like in a bowl game where you had the Rose Bowl, they still have the Rose Bowl logo, but it's like presented by whoever, City or whoever, like they've just added it to a logo. I think you could see something like that, and we'll see something like that.
I was playing for the Cubs when they put the Under Armour sign in the outfield. The Chicago Cubs never had any advertising.
On the grass or the wall?
So, on the wall. So they have the ivy out there. So you couldn't put any signs on the ivy. Well, they have 2 doors in right field, in right center, and in left center that you go into the cages out there. And they put the Under Armour thing up there one year. And you would have thought that baseball was over in Chicago.
I'm trying to find a picture of it.
Oh, dude, it more people were pissed off about the Under Armour logo going on the wall at Wrigley. Now, they weren't pissed off about the fact that our clubhouse was a dump and we had our cage in right field and left field, by the way. Grow up, we're in the big leagues.
Well, it's a 100-year-old field.
That's right. But how are you going to pay for the renovations if you don't sell ads? But now if you go to Wrigley, you see the ads everywhere. Well, the stadium is nice. The player amenities are nice. I mean, it generates a ton of money.
I'm curious if LSU does it. I would imagine they will. They'll at least shop it.
Yeah.
I don't know that you make the plunge year one and put a logo at midfield, however that might look. But
I know how it should look.
You get the Paris logo
right there.
You ready to spend $2 million
right there, baby,
to put the Paris logo there at the 25s or whatever it may be?
We'll see. At the 50-yard line, Parish Field at Tiger Stadium. Oh,
this isn't naming rights. It's just have your logo there.
I wonder what naming rights would look like.
I think you're a long way before you get there. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Paulie. There it is. There's the Under Armour logo. Oh, wow. So it's a big green door. Yeah. So people were upset about that.
Oh.
You know what I'm surprised about, though? Like Major League Baseball, their apparel deal isn't with Under Armour. How were the Cubs able to do that?
Under Armour's a Chicago-based company. Like right when Under Armour started to get hot, I was playing with the Cubs when all that happened. By the way, fascinating story. Like Under Armour went bankrupt.
Yeah, it was Maryland guys, right?
Yeah.
Guys from University of Maryland.
So the headquarters was in Chicago, and I don't know how it got there, but yeah, man. I mean, it was a big deal. But Wrigley also didn't have lights until like
it was the 80s.
80s, 90s.
Well, I know that too. I think it was late 80s. When we were kids, and they had baseball cards. One of the commemorative cards, I think Score. You remember the brand Score?
Hell yeah.
Score did a baseball card. It was the first night game at Wrigley, and I think it was 1988, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, it took 100 years of baseball before they put lights in the field.
Well, if you haven't been there, you got to go. I mean, it's plopped in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I could understand why the neighbors didn't want Yeah, it generates a ton of revenue, and of course, if somebody's gonna pay it, you should do it.
We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. Oh, so by the way, we'll have LSU Sports Properties on the phone in just a second to talk to you about putting the Parish logo at the 25 at Tiger Stadium. Good for that?
Yeah.
Does that come out of my?
All of us, we share that equally.
That comes out of my share.
Partners, yeah.
So do I get a vote?
You're sure.
But I don't have as much of a vote.
But you can have a vote.
I can have a vote, but my vote just doesn't count. You get like you get like 5 votes, and I get 1 vote.
You get your vote. I've got something to say.
Why is your hand in the air?
They were at the thing. Michelle was at the thing too, in Gonzaga, at Lamar Dixon.
What thing?
At the industrial convention deal, Michelle. And I went up to him. I said, "Hey, where's Sean at?" And the guy looked at me crazy.
Why?
I don't know.
He didn't know.
I don't think he put 2 and 2 together, and I was just assuming that he would know what I was talking about. But anyway, Michelle, I told him I needed some scales. He goes, "Okay, great. Write your number down and name." And Sean still hadn't called me, so maybe they don't need it. But
what did you need scales for?
I need to weigh trucks, heavy trucks full of rocks.
You really need?
I do.
I'll put you in touch. Yeah, for sure.
I do.
Did you text or call Sean?
No.
Oh, you gave it to the guy.
I gave the guy my number.
Well, it sounds like the guy didn't even know what you were talking about.
Well, he knew. He figured it out. That guy probably needs to get fired from the show.
Hey, so I'm not trying to
We need to figure out who that guy
trying to
is.
fire people during the live read.
He didn't do his job. He needs to be fired from Michelle.
All right. I'm going to stop. I'm going to get you in touch with Sean McMullen, former LSU baseball player Sean McMullen, over at Michelle Weighing and Measurement. I'll make sure that happens, and you can buy some scales.
You fire that guy, too.
Why are you trying to? It's Friday. We have 1 segment to go to do Ask Ryan. You're trying to get people fired.
On their day off.
You know,
stealing boxes.
If the guy... If you need better employees, call Glow Resource. I got to do that live read coming up here after
There
the break.
we go.
Anyway, no. Michelle.com, Michelle.com. By the way, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight's been rescheduled. It was supposed to be July 20th. I was actually excited about this because, we're going to be at SEC Media Days in Dallas this year.
Oh, turn up.
July 14th through the 18th. Well, the Tyson-Paul fight was 2 days later in Dallas. So I was like, well, I'm just going to stay in Dallas and go to the fight. And then I saw that like upper level seats were like $3,000. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to that fight. That's not a thing that's going to happen IRL. But so they've rescheduled it for Friday, November the 15th, because of conflicts with the Cowboys. So Dallas, they play the Eagles. That's Sunday. And then Sunday the 10th, then Friday the 15th, November the 15th will be the Paul Tyson fight. And then 3 days later, on Sunday, 3 days later, they played the Texans. So it was about the only way they could make it happen. I'm sorry, Monday Night Football. They played Texans on Monday night.
Tyson's hurt. One of them.
Tyson had a health issue, and so they had to postpone the fight. So, but anyway, November the 15th, Friday, November the 15th. The thing I do love about this, though, it's on Netflix. So it's not pay-per-view. I mean, technically it is because you have to have a Netflix subscription. But if you have a Netflix account, you'll be able to watch the fight, which I just prefer that model to having to go sell $120 pay-per-view subscriptions, right? Or pay-per-view buys. That's obviously the model that's worked forever, but this is so similar. Like Netflix is doing that. Netflix has bought a couple of NFL games. It's what Amazon Prime has done with Thursday Night Football with the NFL. This is a lost leader for them. They're not trying to sell enough ads in the Tyson-Paul fight to pay for the rights. They just want people to subscribe, get a Netflix subscription, and then buy your toothpaste and everything from I guess that would be Amazon, right, with Amazon Prime. But with Netflix, they want you to get your Netflix subscription and keep it and stay, and they'll keep a residual on you instead of just a one-time pop of $100. They hope, what if you become a Netflix subscriber for the next decade?
Sure.
Well, they make it a bajillion times over. So it is smart. It's a smart business play. So I'm going to watch the fight. Looking forward to it. Okay, final break of the show. Ask Ryan to wrap up next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. They are a complete employer solution. So, yes, if you need employees that will take Mr. The Riot's info and pass it along and make sure it's called back, Glow Resources can help. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. If it's skilled blue-collar labor, if it's white-collar jobs as well, C-level management, Glow Resources finds the perfect employee for you. Again, this isn't a temp staffing agency, and they don't want prospective employees to call them. They will find you. But who Glow Resources works for is you, the business owner. So if you've had trouble finding reliable people to fill your jobs, people that show up on time, that work efficiently, that do the right job, that meet the qualifications both physically and with the skill set to do the job, then you need Glow Resources. They have a 93% retention rate of their employees. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online. GLO, glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. and we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
So this guy, Stephen Lord, texted the show and said, I wish the LHSAA would let Catholic play 5A against the big boys in the playoffs. What an idiot.
Well, this
you mean
year,
the team that just won the national championship?
Yeah,
By the way,
Steven,
you chump, here's the problem with all the dorks at the LHSAA, like your buddy, who I won't mention his name because you'll get upset if I do.
Don't you do it.
The problem with Bonehead and all the people at the LHSAA, I didn't say his name. You took the select division is basically all the public schools that said, y'all are too good, we can't compete, get out of here and go play your own thing.
That's what happened.
Like, that's what happened. The watered down crap division is the non-select. Because you took all the schools, you said, hey, that would be like if college football said, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, Texas, hey, y'all can't play, like, we'll play in the regular season, but we can't beat you, so y'all go play in your own championship, and we'll have our own championship here. Well, which one you think's legitimate? Well, there's only 10 teams over there, but it's the 10 teams that win every damn year. Right. Shove it up your T, Heine. What a dork. And you're definitely picking the wrong year to say that about Catholic when they literally won the national championship in baseball just now.
They were
you dork. Kyle Milliken asked Ryan, is Milam the next Jose Altuve?
Man, Jose Altuve is a Hall of Famer, so I'm not going to go that far.
Do you think that people are just like comping him because he's 5'5"?
Yeah. I'm
By
not.
the way, Milam ain't no 5'8".
No.
They got him listed at like 5'8". He ain't 5'8". Like you're 5'8".
No, I'm not. Yeah, listen to me. Jose Altuve is a Hall of Famer. So, I think Milam's a hell of a player. But let's pump the brakes just a touch.
Yeah, we got a minute before we got to have that comment. Yeah, they got Stephen Milam at 5'8", 172. Come on. Come on, 5'8". Greg Lehman.
This will be good.
Ask Ryan. Man, that Stephen Milam sure is good at baseball. Am I right?
Yep, you're right, Greg. He's a good ball player. You love that.
I do. I don't know why I love that so much.
I
And I think part of it is just because I get to deliver it that way.
I
with
wonder
the pause.
when did he start it?
I don't know.
And he's pretty consistent, man.
Well, but you were the one that said about how much you hate when people make obvious comments like that. So I think he just took the thing you said. Now he's built on it every week.
Look, hats off. He's done a good job.
Caleb Williams. I think it's a different Caleb Williams. I think it's the quarterback Caleb Williams. But it might be.
Maybe.
I mean, I heard we're big. Look, big out there in USC territory.
Oh, yeah, we're big on the West.
I mean, LSU's playing USC. He was at Oklahoma before that. They're coming into the league. Up in Chicago now. I mean, you were in Chicago.
Maybe he's a Cubs fan.
Yeah, maybe so. Ask Ryan, least favorite SEC baseball uniform, not counting LSU. It's so interesting he sent that because we were talking about uniforms in the break.
Yeah, Vanderbilt has the worst uniforms in the league.
With the black pinstripes?
When they
the black with the pinstripes.
When they do the black, yeah. And then LSU's, I'm going to say LSU's pinstripes.
Are the best?
I love them. Ole Miss with the powder blue.
I
like
blues.
them.
Get out of here with
I
the
like
powder.
them.
I'm not interested in talking about stupid powder blue uniforms.
I like them.
No. I love LSU's pinstripes. It's a shame it got relegated to midweek games. It's the best uniform LSU has. See you Monday.
AFR.
I got to go on Wednesday to Supper Club and sample their new menu items.
I saw that.
5 new items. They've modified the potatoes au gratin and their mac and cheese. Dude, the potatoes au gratin, they added thick cut bacon and they have 5 cheeses in it now. It is divine. I'd say people all the time, if you want to go to Supper Club, get a prime filet, awesome app the braised pork ribs, 2 amazing side salads, whatever, have a bottle of wine. You can do that for the same price as you would for any other fine dining restaurant in Baton Rouge. Now, if you want the exquisite experience, they have this herb beef now, literally one of 3 restaurants in the United States that is getting this herb beef on a trial basis. There's 2 in New York and then Supper Club in Baton Rouge, dead serious. Brandon and Mackenzie Landry just said, we're going to take an experience that you could only get at major cities in the world and bring it to Baton Rouge. It's Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.